Whoa! Hey, first mistake of the day. That's not the right text, crawl. What up, you bad motherfuckers? Yo! Bienvenidos, gang. Welcome to the show. It's the Meaningwave Live. Meaningwave. What do we call this? The Meaningstream. It's the Meaningstream, and you are very welcome. Make some noise. As is customary, that means flood chat with emojis. You are also instructed to beat the living shit out of the like button. That's very necessary. Every like button concussion sends out an invitation to the homies. Shout out to everyone locked in early. What up, Full Killer? What up, Sagittarius? What up, Yoga Mac? Auto Glass. Yoga Mac says, whoa, head explode. What is going on, fam? Okay, too explosive overheader. Jason Eva's in the house. What up, baby? Regulating. If anyone has any concerns or anything, direct them in the direction of Jason Eva. He has the answers. He has a wrench. Adrian Stump is in the building. HMS Wave Rider, what's up? Speech Dub Club is in the house. What's up? Amcast is in the house. What's up? Auto Glass is in the house. Meow meow. Chill Canuck is in the house. Meow meow. Van Transit is in the house. Somehow Anomaly is in the house. Oh my goodness. Sedge is in the house. It's a beautiful day to have a house. It's a beautiful day to be live, and we do indeed today have a guest, a special guest on the show. Which is an exciting thing because we rarely do that. You know what I mean? We're relatively insular, I suppose, but I had a lovely conversation with Dr. AN0MALY on his channel a little while back. And I thought, well, I would love to hear more of AN0MALY. And since on his own channel he doesn't talk that much about himself, he talks about matters of global import. I thought I'd have to get him on here so I can ask him about like regular human being shit. And thus, it is occurring. Jason Eva says, collab, collab. Auto Glass says, let's turn it up. Why not? And the like button is decimated. Good, I'm proud of you. Jacob Peter says, we've got a Matrix breakup. Yeah, we got all manner of things. We got AN0MALY. He's a rapper, a political and cultural commentator, and most importantly, a world-famous disco dancing chandelier-botherer. I will explain what that means in a bit. Did you hear him laugh? I think I heard him laugh. Yeah. He's in the green room. It's not green, but it's a room. It's a room in weird digital space. It's beautiful. Anyway, he is that. He's also, God. Well, we'll talk about all that. But he is a bad motherfucker, and he did create his YouTube channel in 2009, which is a while ago now, I guess. You know. And he has got 280,000 subscribers on there, which is mental. And has uploaded 2,252 videos. I know this because Jason Eva did some research, and he's told me. Also, he's got nearly 500,000 followers on Instagram, which is mental, and nearly 1.680 million on Facebook, and 275,000 on X. Bloody hell! What a powerful being. And he did all this. You look at his YouTube channel, you can look at the oldest video, and it's a really, really nice. It's a lovely rap song. It's done in the classic boom bap style, and if you put it out now, just exactly as it is, people would be very excited and say it would be some kind of like retro-futuristic return to glory or something. Anyway, before we get any further, I'm going to play you a bit of a classic AN0MALY music video that I really like, that brought me much joy over the years. And hopefully it will bring you some joy too, because it is great. Look at that first frame. It's a delightful first frame. This song is called Bob Ross.
I see the shit y'all saying sometimes. It's just, I'm chilling, petting birds like I don't even see it. You feel me? Bob Ross, you won't never see me tripping. Got the vision, I don't even need assistance.
Good Lord!
All I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real, Bob Ross.
What?
I'll solve it, Bob Ross.
Good gosh.
All I do is win. Don't mess with a king, for real, Bob Ross. Your girl eat me up like Chex Mix. Watch me all the time like Netflix, Bob Ross. Let me take it down slow, let me break it down low. Holla. I done come up from the basement, on a struggle from the pavement. Came up high, I feel Jamaican till my eyes switch to the matrix. We are all just human. Shout out Puerto Rican, French, and Haitian. I just say it, everybody play themselves if they erase us. Hating someone for a reason, they ain't choosing. So disgraceful, I be painting birds and clouds like I don't see the shit y'all saying. Please embrace me, need two girls when I need time for some occasions. Yeah, I'll take it, double up like I invested all my savings. Bob Ross, you'll never see me tripping. Got the vision, I don't even need assistance. Bob Ross, all I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real, Bob Ross. I be too calm for the drama. You don't wanna cause a problem, I'll solve it, Bob Ross.
Good gosh.
All I do is win. Yeah, don't mess with a king, for real, Bob Ross. Yeah, I used to be a savage. You don't wanna see me panic. You.
Good golly, what a ridiculous banger that is. Where's our guest, Finn? Where's our guest? Look, there he is. There he is. Look at that beautiful face.
My man.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I'm going to bless you with the Bob Ross type beat in the background. There you go. That tune is fire. You could put that out today and it would seem entirely correct. I would say. How you doing, AN0MALY?
Life is good, man. I love the musical intros. It's a vibe.
Yeah, you gotta have musical intros. I find it weird. I find it difficult talking these days without like a bit of music underneath. It feels strange. I got so used to doing these streams where I'm constantly playing music all the time, and then you can do that when you want to collect your thoughts. You know, you go, and there's no dead air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, is that you?
Yeah.
Is this your beat?
This is a beat called Bob Ross type beat from one of my Christmas albums, and I thought of you when I made it. Because you've managed to link yourself with Bob Ross in my mind, which is pretty smart.
I love this.
So there you go. Anyway, how you doing, you bad man?
Life is good.
Life is good. It is good to
God
have
is
on.
great.
Did you get any rows on the internet since I spoke to you this afternoon when we did our sound check? And I said, don't get any rows.
No, I don't think I argue with anybody. I had a stream with a guest on, so I've been good today. I've been productive. Went to the gym. Yeah, no fights, nothing.
Good. I'm proud of you. What'd you do in the gym?
I worked out extra hard because there was a cutie in there, so I had to give it some extra reps. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow, really?
Couldn't give up. Yeah,
Oh,
I had to do 4 reps instead of 3, but
Did
a little
she
bit of
notice?
everything.
Did she notice?
I mean, she started looking. I was like, you know, that's when you start making more noise now. I'm kidding. I'm not that guy. I'm not like, They're like, dude, calm down, bro. It's 10 pounds. You're like, oh, my bad. I was in the zone.
I am that guy, but I do like stupid CrossFit workouts and go super, super ridiculously hard. So I just be making all the noise in the world because I've pretty much vacated my body by that point. You know that thing? You know that?
I do. Dude, I let it fly when you're on the DJs, the 1s and 2s. That my body, it just starts. You know what I'm saying?
I would see. This is the thing. So for those that don't know, which is you lot, AN0MALY and I don't just speak to each other occasionally in little square boxes on the internet. Like we did connect in real life many, many years back, because AN0MALY used to come to this club that I DJ'd at called No Vacancy in Hollywood, and you always knew he was there because you'd hear the chandelier rattling as his head bumped into it. You know, which is true. You mostly hung out at the bar, right? But then some certain musical activities would summon you to the dance floor, and I would just see you appearing above the heads of all the others by a good 2.5 foot, banging into the chandelier as you did your John Travolta type situation.
Well, I went to No Vacancy a lot because it was only a couple minutes away, so I'd take a quick Uber or I'd walk there. I had a friend who worked the door, so they got me in for free. I got free drinks, and Akira's my favorite DJ of all time. No joke, as far as he'd play rap bangers, he'd play Jackson 5. Like one of my favorite songs of all time is Jackson 5, I Want You Back. You'd play that all the time. And it was just a win-win. I drink for free. I got in quickly. They got the best DJ in the world. And, I'd mingle, I'd talk to my friends and stuff, but I was in a good headspace, especially those years. Like I was at peace with myself, and I feel like when I was younger, I'd want to, like, say I'd be dancing, you'd be like looking for girls or like, oh, I want to dance with her. And when Akira's on the floor, for those times, I was just like, you know, if people want to dance with me, they could dance. If not, but I was so in the zone that it, like, I wasn't outside of the present moment. Like, what do they think? Or what does she think? Or should I look at her? Like, I would literally just go and dance, not caring what anyone felt like. And just, I'd dance for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I'd always make my way to the dance floor, because there's nothing like just letting loose to good music. And I'm not even just saying this, like Akira's got the best mix. Like it's not just one genre. He hits everything I want to hear, like every rap song I want to hear, like throwbacks from the 70s that no one else will play. It was the best. Those moments cannot be replicated, and COVID killed them, but you know,
yeah,
it was what it was.
It's so true. I remember my last night at No Vacancy, it was a Saturday. I think you were there. It was a Saturday night, and a few of us at the steps at the end were like, we might not be back next week, huh? And we weren't back next week. And that was that. And I never went back. And it's one of those things. You have these moments in life, and you know, these things that you're enjoying, you don't know it's the last time when it's happening. You don't know it's the last time ever when it's happening, right? Whatever the peak glorious moment is. I always think about this, like the last time you know, one time it's going to be the last time you make love. Will you know that at the time? When I was DJing that last set in Los Angeles, I didn't know it was my last set ever in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? I didn't know that thing that we built up over years of like building that night, and kind of that crowd of people who used to come down, and everything that went into that, all the people who worked in there, the relationships we had, you know, all our friends. We didn't know. I'd never see a bunch of those people again. Or since.
Yeah,
anyway.
It was a great place, because it was hard to get in because they didn't have a straight line. They made you like go in a circle, and then some guy would just pick like the hot girls, and like not you if you didn't know somebody, and you'd wait there for an hour, and like people would pass you because it wasn't a straight line. It was literally you go in a circle around like a cage, and he's just like you. It never made you feel like if you didn't know somebody, or like they just never pick you, and you feel like you're like in kindergarten on the kickball team. Like, why are they not picking me? So I knew people there. I got free drinks, and like it was nice because you never knew how long you had to wait. But when that guy saw me, he'd be like, all right, let you in the side door or whatever. Then I'd get free drinks, and I feel like there's a lot of places people try to get you to go out there where it's like, come here. And I determined in my head, I'm like, I get free drinks. I get in easily. It's a really cool place. The vibe is great. Akira's on the thing. My friend, like, I just would go there too. I think I went there like 100 times because I was like, you can't convince me that anything's better than this right now. You know, I don't care where you're at. Not only is it free for me, but like, I like the crowd. Like I'd go to other bars and it wouldn't be as cool. Like the music wouldn't be as good. The people wouldn't be as chill. Something about that. Like I never had a bad time, and there was never like a weird interaction in No Vacancy. Like sometimes someone bumps into you. What are you doing here, bro? Like something about that place is just like magical. And I knew it I didn't know it would be the last time, but I knew that no matter how much pressure I had to go, let's go downtown, or nah, I live 3 minutes from this place. I'm not going anywhere but here. Yeah. And I'd go there probably twice a week, you know, Saturday, Sunday, Friday. Because I don't want to go 30 minutes away to some smelly bar that's not as cool and I gotta pay. Nah, I was in the zone with Akira the Don.
Akira.
Where do you go now? Do you go anywhere now? You know, you left LA, right? And you went to Orange County, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't go out that much out here anymore, honestly. I did a like three-legged tour, like with a band. So I went to Vegas. I got my thrills out there. I drank, but now I'm like, that was like a week ago.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. So you've just got back off tour. I've seen some footage. You've been out with a band. You're rapping on one of the songs or something, right?
Yeah, we have a collab.
Yeah, how's that been?
It's been cool, man. It's the band Trapped, and their big song is Headstrong. Like a lot of people have heard that one. And he had emailed me 4 or 5 years ago and just said, hey, I'm Chris. I'm the lead singer. I'm conservative. And it's weird because nowadays I wouldn't believe it was like a Gmail account. I would be like, nah, that's not that person. Like it could be anybody. But for whatever reason, I believed it was him, and I didn't fact check or cross check, and it was him. So he's like, we just hung out. He wanted to talk about politics, and I said, I rap. And I, I know that I'm a good rapper. I believe in myself, but I know a lot of people just look at me like a news analyst and they're like, oh, he can't do that. So Chris always like, he heard it and he was like, no, this is fire. Like, let's do a song. And he was about it. He sent me a beat. I was playing this game, Rocket League. I wrote all 3 verses while playing Rocket League. Next day, recorded it, laid it down. And then it was like, whenever I'm on tour, like if you want to show up, we can do that song. So I got to do it at a few festivals, at Sturgis 2020. That's my favorite show ever because the whole country was locked down and the only thing open was Sturgis. And they're like, the motorcyclists are going to kill everybody in South Dakota. No bands wanted to do the show because they're all afraid of COVID. And, we said yes and Smash Mouth said yes. So it was us. And like, I was out with like Hell's Angels just getting lit while everyone was inside. That was a special moment for sure.
Oh man.
So it's been great, man. It's been super fun. And yeah,
so
life is good.
Well, here's the thing. And you kind of summed it up a bit there. Most people these days know of you for being right about a lot of things on X. And,
or wrong, depending on your perception.
No, you've had a good track record, and you have receipts, and you keep them. I'm assuming you've got a folder with screenshots with which you dish out. But you were primarily focused on rapping, as we said. You started your YouTube channel in 2009, right? And you were dropping mixtapes, and you were uploading videos to that. There's articles about you from around that period, and you're in the record deal shopping stage of a young man's rap career and all that sort of thing, right? And you were obviously very competent in that domain. It's not like sort of wishy-washy stuff. If you go listen to those really early records, you're very, very skilled. And this is in the sort of rapping that, back when rapping demanded a level of skill. As opposed to, because swag is very important and confidence is very important. You know what I mean? But you could bag of bosh out of all of them, right? And you're on that thing. And then at some point, you start commenting on the news in the context of a rap channel. Why?
I always rapped about things that I thought mattered. Like I was never rapping about like girls and clothes. Like they tried to tell me at labels to rap about women and like weed and like other stuff. And I was like,
how did those conversations go? Because I had some of those too, and people always think you're making that shit up. They're like, no one actually says that.
No, it really happened. I'm trying to think of how exactly it happened, but it was like I got invited to one of the labels. So Jam Master Jay from Run DMC, his sons were a huge fan of mine. Like he's got 2 sons, and like I went to a party in New York City, invited me to one time when I was like 20, and he knew all my lyrics from those like YouTube freestyles, and he's like, bro, I'm a big fan. And then the other brother's like, yo, come out to Queens and record. And I went out to Jamaica, Queens, and recorded at his like apartment. And then he said, I saw this label guy that knows my dad. Like, I don't know, maybe it was Sony, but I don't want to like falsely quote it. I don't remember. And he's like, they want you to have a meeting. So I got the meeting because Jam Master Jay's kids were fans of my like freestyles and raps. And I guess they were suspicious of me because everything was like bootleg, like I never had a good mic. I never really recorded a real record with like it was always just like, let me show my skill to the world, but I don't have the equipment. So they were like, can you do this? And instead of being like, can you do this? And it wasn't the Sons, by the way. It was just like whoever they hooked me up with. They were like, why don't you do it this way? Why don't you I think they told me to wear Abercrombie one time. And I was like, you'll get me beat up in the hood. Like, I don't wear Abercrombie. I wear like band t-shirts, so it went like that. And then I remember one time, I'll never forget, the one guy that was from like, I want to say he was from Brooklyn. He was kind of talking to me like I was just like every white kid ever, like wear Abercrombie, do this, do that. And then I saw him a second time and he was like shocked. And he goes, dude, I mentioned you to the kids at the school I work at, and they know who you are. Like the kids in Brooklyn know you already from YouTube. And I was like, that's crazy. But it was almost like he was shocked because he was like, oh, you're not just some white kid. Like they like actually like black kids know you. Like that's like the vibe I got. And I was like, yeah, I'm no slouch, bro. Like I didn't know they knew me, but I'm not a puppet. So it never worked out for whatever reason. I was pretty stubborn with percentages. I could do math, and anything that I didn't want to do, I said no. and they don't like no's, you know? So like, it's almost like they never even wanted to negotiate. And the funny thing is, Akira, it's the same way to this day. Like I have a billion views, I have millions of followers. Even with like media companies, they pitch me an offer. I like try to negotiate, and then they're just like, never mind. Like no one like it's like, if you don't do this, then we don't want you. And it's like, okay. But even with all this leverage I have now, it just doesn't matter for whatever reason. But they must not want me that bad, I guess.
That's interesting. But like, that didn't even slightly answer the question. Why did you start talking, like, as in, yeah, you were interested in stuff, and yeah, you were rapping about things that were real and stuff that was going on in the world and shit you cared about. But making the pivot from rapping about that stuff to talking about it, and then really going into that. Because I remember when you appeared in this, well, as far as I was able to see, in sort of the mid, like 2014, 2015 or something like that. Like a long-haired rapping guy also talking about the news from a non-typically sort of leftoid position appeared, and that was a rare thing. That was an anomaly at that point. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, I'll answer the question this time. So yeah, I guess like I always rapped about messages that weren't nothing. So fast forward. My buddy, his name is Prince EA. Actually, he was a rapper, but he turned spoken word poet, and he like blew up on Facebook with like 100 million views doing spoken word poetry.
Oh wow!
And then I was like, because I was a poet before I was a rapper, so he kind of inspired me. I was like, oh, let me try poetry. And it's like I slowly went from like rapping, then poetry, and then just speaking. I just saw people talking, like it was like an event would happen, and someone would say something, and I was like, you know what? I want to say something. Like, kind of happened randomly. And then 2016. It was more from like an activism perspective. I felt like Hillary Clinton was like stealing it from Bernie Sanders, you know? And like, I just felt like they didn't care what people thought. And I was like, oh, I have too much time on my hands. I work on the computer. I'm going to speak out. And then it just kind of progressed from there. But yeah, it wasn't like I didn't have like this like business moment where I'm like, let me do like vlogging. It just worked one time. Like I just said something and it worked better than all my other stuff. And I was like, oh, well, that only took 5 minutes to record. You know, that's not that hard to do.
I remember at the time people saying that what was going on and nicking it from Bernie was going to create a generation of people who knew what the fuck had happened. And that was a stupid thing for them to do on that level, because it was going to create a generation of people who saw what had happened and would not forget. And out of those people would rise noisy people, who would then become a problem for the machine. And I guess you're one of them. You're one of that predicted. What is the word? It's not a prediction. When you have scrolls and shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, you were prophesized. You were a prophesized being.
I gotta hand it to the elites, though. I feel like they did a pretty good job to put the rabbit back in the hat. Where like for every person that figured it out, I think they're really good at like subplots and like Marvel movie like plots. You know, they're so good at like, he's the hero and she's the villain, and then like to the other side, they run to the other side and they flip it and they're like, you see that hero that they think is the hero? That's the villain, and then the villain's the hero, and then it's like fight, you know, Mortal Kombat style. And like I would say most people can't figure it out.
Fight. Yeah, that was the one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they've done a good job, I think.
I remember like in the no vacancy period, like we had homies who were they'd really bought into that the Q movie. You know what I mean? I knew a whole bunch of people who were really into that Q movie. And they really like that story, you know, and they really like that. Oh, remember all that shit? It was like, remember that week? It was like, oh, they're going to turn the internet off. And when they turn it back on again, all of the baddies will be being paraded down the street, like heads on spikes and shit. And da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
All that plan trusting, you guys ain't got to do shit. There's goodies and they're going to fix everything for you type joints. And we had homies who really believed in that shit, you know? And you would be trying to tell people, like, this is, I remember like, yeah, that. You know what I mean? Like maybe you trusting the plan and not doing anything is exactly what they would want. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you trying to tell
never
people
bought
this.
it.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you telling certain people that we was friends with and shit, and people would get really upset with you for fucking with their dream.
Yeah, I remember the first person who told me, like in LA, and it never registered to me, and I always thought what you're saying, and it's interesting psychology. So like say with a blackout, this is how it operates. They'll say there's going to be black turn to light or blackout, and then like they'd come up with like, all right, the internet's going to go out or it's going to turn back on, the pedophiles are going to be arrested. But then you got to think with blackout, blackouts do actually happen all the time. So like there will eventually be a blackout somewhere, whether it's in, you know, North New York or Texas or like a school. So then when it happens, then they take credit for that and say, see, it happened. It's kind of like there's this thing, if you search COVID and COVID cases, any number, you could find an article for every number: 11, 141, 242, 345, 749, 1, 11, 59. Like there's cases in India, in Colorado, in North Dakota, because it's like an algorithm thing where they were reporting the cases every state, every county, every country, and there's millions of articles about it. So you can literally find every number. It's like, you know, that's kind of like with the Q. It's like they'll say something generic and it will happen. Something will happen along those lines, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everything's true. And I mean, the sad part is they all thought the lockdown and the martial law was going to be when all the bad people got arrested. And a lot of those people got lured to January 6th and they got arrested.
I was going to mention that. I saw one of those homies. I remember one of the very vocal Q people on Twitter who was right up until the last second. Trust the plan. Don't do it. Just trust the plan. Is now in jail.
Damn.
What's his name? Pat Stedman or something like that. He's like a dating coach or something who turned really big Q guy. He's very, very plan trusty. And then he got suckered into that January, that Alan Watts, my son's birthday honey trap, and is in jail. And he got kids and shit. It's just so sad.
I mean, it's the ultimate like tragedy because they thought that martial law, and they said, I have like debates from 2019 debating with these guys. I'm like, you're not wrong about, not that guy, but another one. I'm like, you're not wrong about all this stuff. Like some conspiracies are obviously true, but like, you think martial law is good? Because to me, martial law is bad. That means like government tyranny. So then when the lockdown happened, they all thought it was the moment they'd been waiting for. And they bought so deep into the Trump Q thing. Like, I mean, think about that. They told everyone for 4 years that the pedophiles were going to get locked up and then they're in prison. Like, and a lot of them still don't realize it. It's really sad, actually. It's like, it's as crazy as like things on the left that everyone talks about all the time. And now you have like a father who's probably, I don't remember that guy exactly, but I'm sure he's a really nice guy.
Seems like the loveliest guy on earth. It seems like the absolute loveliest guy on earth. It's really sad.
It is. That's terrible. Sucks.
But like, you know, I mean, you just said it there. I remember in the early days, like pre-YouTube, sort of 2000, just after 9/11 type thing, when Alex Jones was doing his thing, and he was putting out all these documentaries and all that sort of thing. And at that point, the conspiracy culture was very worried about martial law. Like really, it was like their number one thing. They're going to martial law. They're going to do a martial law. They were very, very vigilant about martial law, and it was the ultimate thing to kind of be vigilant against martial law. And with that whole QE thing, they got all that crowd of people, or a great deal of them, and certainly that kind of mimetic energy, demanding martial law, like begging for martial law.
Right.
It was pretty powerful.
No, it flipped the whole conspiracy on its head. It's like, instead of martial law being bad, I mean, I have here, Bill Cooper wrote a book called Behold a Pale Horse, where he was talking about executive orders that made martial law illegal. And like every conspiracy theorist would be like, they're going to use it against the American people. It's not, no one thought it was good until Q told them it was good. So it was never hard for me to see the psyop. It's like you mix 80% truth. Like if I say, Akira, you know, your hair is, you know, stunning. You know, it's, your hair's blonde. You know, you're a great DJ. You're a great friend. Now let's go jump off a bridge. You know, and like, it's like, that's like the logic of it, where they like mix it in with like flattery. They mix it in with like, you're awesome. You're a patriot. So and then the last like call to action is like, now go to an event.
It was zero action. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Now come to the Capitol. And they're still paying for that shit. God bless.
But there's still probably like more support than there ever was. Like I noticed a lot of, I call them MAGA moms, a lot of MAGA moms like QAnon, because it's like a Scooby-Doo mystery. It's the same reason like women like to they love to watch like murder documentaries and like get into the mind of like, you know, it's like they're Scooby-Doo, they're trying to solve the crime. That's like Q. It tells them that it gives them like one of those little like eye things, and it's like, come on, Patriots, you're on my team, and they're like, aye, Captain, you know, looking
It's got
through
all
the
the grisly
microscope. Or
stuff. Like my grandma used to stay up till like 4 a.m. reading these magazines, and if I'd look into what is in these magazines, and it's all like serial killers and someone like 4 children being buried in gardens and put in walls. You know what I mean? It's like really gross stuff. And my nan would stay up till like all night reading those things. Ooh, you know what I mean? She loved that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of it, but there's something there that they
There's-
like. I think it is the mystery of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sort of savage brutality that exists in potential, right? That it's been in an evolutionary biological sort of level, like they'd have been looking out for in the tribes for thousands and thousands of years. They'd have been keeping an eye out for that sort of thing, because that sort of thing was, you know, a real danger. As a lot of what has happened is that local concerns have gone into sort of global, right? A lot of the sort of gossip and like drama culture that the internet thrives off is the sort of shit that previously you'd have been talking with a neighbor over a garden wall with or something like that, right? And, you know, some drama about the local vicar or something like that. And it's just that same sort of thing that's gone macro.
Yeah, and I mean, Twitter is a place where you could like fire off all your thoughts, but you know, it's not really healthy to do so. Like even with me, it's like even if I'm right, it's like, what's the point? Why am I saying this? Why am I on 12 o'clock?
I noticed that these days you ask a lot of questions. You don't necessarily make proclamations. You'll ask a question and allow people to figure it out.
It definitely works better in some ways. Like, and also as somebody that wants to like retain information, it's like, I already know what I know. So you ask a question, you not only learn, but it leaves it up to interpretation. You know, there's some accounts now that they're purposely saying the wrong things so it gets community noted, and the community notes say the right thing. Like if it's too edgy to say,
I've seen that.
they'll say the wrong thing, and then the community notes like, no, it's not those people, it's those people. And it's like, that's a hilarious I would say,
yeah, that was the
strategy.
whole tunnel gate or whatever it will be known as eventually. There was a lot of that sort of thing going on.
People naming like other like religions, and then like the community notes reframes it. But yeah, the questions, it's not even just like an engagement. Some people will be like, oh, you're just doing it for money. It's like, no, when you make like these broad statements, like a lot of times people will hate you for it. And I'm not afraid to say what I think, but you know, how many times do I have to say the same thing? What's the point? Like, what am I getting out of this? So I do like to ask questions and see what other people think.
But it's smarter because it makes people think about it. If you're just like, this is what stuff is, there's a couple of things that work in that world, and one of them is making grand proclamations. Like, that works. People kind of like that to a degree. People like being told the truth of things. Some people will argue with it, but that will work. But if you ask someone a question, they got to think about it. And then, you know, that switches on a part of their brain that otherwise would not be switched on. It's also very sticky. I noticed Mark Cernovich occasionally decides that he's going to sort of point people in my direction. And he doesn't go listen to Akira the Don. He's great. He goes, have you heard of Akira the Don? Or who's this Akira the Don guy I've heard about? Or what have you.
Right.
It's like a smart way of maneuvering things.
Yeah, Cernovich is an interesting Twitter user because I find that like he's definitely playing games like that people don't know he's playing. Like with that, like there's a reason he's doing it. Sometimes I'll see him take like this one stance like aggressively for 3 weeks and like just talk trash to anybody who questions it. And then he'll kind of flip like a week later and do the other side and talk shit to the other side. Like I feel like he's probably running some sort of experiment, you know, that's not like it's, you know, he's up to something for sure. It's definitely an interesting strategy.
Yeah, he is. But there's not that many people still standing from that sort of 2016 class. You know what I mean? Like, people often talk about, you know, Alex Jones being the canary in the coal mine of the whole council thing. But there was obviously Milo before him. There was there was actually a lot of people. There's basically, if you look back at that 2013, 2016 period, where what's now become normie mainstream was being birthed in the underground of the internet. Not a lot of those people remain. You know,
that's true.
Cernovich remains. You remain.
Yeah, I think you know, at least even with everything I do, I try to like there's certain let me use like the Island Boys as an example. Like they, you know,
Yeah, please do.
you know, and I have nothing against these guys. I thought they were funny at first, and I thought it was a cool freestyle. Honestly, like just it was vibey.
I thought
they
they
had
were
a
great
good-
till they started tonguing each other and set up an
It's-
OnlyFans. And then I was
I'm
like,
on
what
board.
the? Wow.
Exactly what I was
Yo.
gonna say. Where like you know, I never hated on them. I thought they were interesting, but they became the most famous people in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then couple years later, like they're like making out with each other for money or whatever. So it's like that just shows like the up and down of like, are you timeless? You know, and like I think
Yeah.
what they made wasn't, and they like spiraled. And there's a lot of examples of that. So like for me, I'm always trying to be honest with myself. Like I've made mistakes, but like if it's not a mistake, I'm not going to apologize, and I'm not going to be fake. And if I'm right, then I'm hoping it'll pay off. But even if it doesn't, I don't care, because I'd rather be right than be a liar. So I think a lot of people come and go. A lot of people are interchangeable. There's a lot of gimmicks. There's a lot of you know, adversity in the world, and you know, some people just kind of fell off the map for one reason or another. So I'm grateful to be here, and I think it's like it's harder and harder to kind of stay above the float, because even though I have a lot of followers and stuff, I don't have any like major corporate backing. And what I'm noticing is like, and I'm not playing the victim because I'm fine, but say like I had a problem on Facebook, they're not going to answer me. But like if I worked with Daily Wire or Fox News, like they have plugs there, they run ads there, like they're more in the know. Like I've never gotten, it's been a while since I've gotten a response from like anybody. So there is a pro and a con to being independent. But when you have like a team, you could make more content. You can, you know, focus on what you do and have, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it's, yeah, I have to work really hard to stay afloat for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Shouts out to Not Your Problem. Thank you for the super chat. It says interesting format. Thanks, I think. My wife was like, how does he make money? I was like, well, I'm pretty sure he does live streams on Instagram and you can give him $5 or something. I think he does that.
It's not, yeah, Instagram is not where I do it. So I mean, I do, but that I think I got like $100 on Instagram or something last month.
Come on.
So, and it was through subscriptions, but it's a combination of everything: Facebook, YouTube, Patreon, my shop, Instagram a little bit, but not really. You know,
There's your shop.
I would say dreamrare.com.
Dreamrare.com.
Yeah, but Facebook's been my big money maker because I have 1.6 million people. I've had a billion views essentially, and they pay pretty well as long as you're monetized and not being.
I feel they ban you every other week or something.
I've been good for the last year or so,
Was it
but
the
during
last year? I remember
COVID,
there was a period where you were constantly like raging about Facebook.
it was COVID. I could almost guarantee you, like if they did, you know how Elon released all the emails when he bought it and he showed like everything they were doing, and like they're like, oh my god, they were shadow banning this. Like I guarantee I'm in the Facebook emails. I guarantee they've taken down Bill Gates' videos, either at the request of him or at the request of somebody. I'm almost positive like the government has probably asked to take down some of my videos, because it's one of the biggest Facebook users. I was getting like 8 million views a video during COVID, and they would delete it, demonetize it, you know, suspend me from live streaming. I had 16,000 live viewers. Like, you know, I wish that the Facebook, there was transparency there, because it would actually be creepy, honestly, because I know for a fact that it was like, yeah, and nothing I said was wrong, and I was always like tactful about it, but yeah, that was a crazy moment. Now they've kind of like laid off a little bit. I think it's due to competition of social media and also business models. Like what are you going to ban 50% of your user base? Like the boomers spend a lot of money. You don't want to, you don't want to rub the boomers too hard.
Yeah, I always wondered about that. I think it was like, obviously there was a lot of a chilling effect attempts, but they can't put everybody in internet jail. They have no users.
Right.
And, yeah, and then, Elon came along and did what he did to Twitter, and that's, people are somewhat emboldened again, I feel. Do you feel, I don't spend much time on like Facebook or any of those sorts of places, do you feel that the emboldenment which has clearly occurred on what is now X, people are definitely feeling a lot braver, people are a lot more likely to say what they think right now than a year or so ago? Have you felt that move over anywhere else, or is that just X specific?
No, I see it on Instagram. I see a lot of like phony people getting ratioed constantly that I always thought were phony, but nobody like knew it. It seems like everybody knows now. You know that like it seems like a lot more people know. I think Facebook boomers were always crazy. They were always talking shit, but like, you know, like just like screw you, Bob. You know, you voted for Trump, scumbag. You know, oh, you voted for Hillary, you libtard. Like they've always been talking trash to each other in a weird way, but Facebook, it's a lot of like it's worldly. Like my third biggest city is like Australia, and I comment about it. I got like hundreds of so Facebook is huge still. But Instagram, I do see the comments. People are getting bold. You know, if someone called you a racist 5 years ago, it's like, oh my gosh, that's like crazy. Like now, I'm still not. I'm just saying like I hear that word, and it's like, do they really mean it or do they not mean it? So I think the games that they were playing to socially manipulate people and control them, they don't work anymore, and it backfired, or at least like that era is done, and people are definitely bolder and braver, but it doesn't necessarily translate to awakeness, because I do think political paradigms have people like really scrambled.
As in what, the whole team aspect?
Yeah, I think Trump, like, not to blame Trump, because I don't think it's like him, but the reaction to Trump has like drove like the country crazy, where like the left, they used to care about like money in politics and lobbying money. Now they don't care. They complain about everything about Trump except for his lobbying money, and they don't care that Democrats get lobbying money. So they just hate, a lot of people just hate Trump, and a lot of people like love Trump. I made a joke on my show today. I said there's probably like millions of Republican men that would like take a straw out and drink the puddle water off of like a puddle that he stepped in, you know, before they would ever like think twice about it, like him, where it's like they love him in the same emotional way that the left hates him. And it's kind of create this like Marvel movie where it's like no one's talking about the Federal Reserve. No one's talking about the bipartisan issues that they all do. No one's talking about the lobbying money. It's like the revenge of the Trump Five, Alvin Bragg arrest. And the left's like, he needs to go to prison, and the left goes, oh yeah, not over my dead body is he gonna be in prison. And like I feel like the bankers are just up there like like they don't care like what people think, because they're talking about yeah, like they're just talking about that, you know. It's like that's what I feel like people don't understand is perception, perspective, like self-awareness. It's both sides lack self-awareness, and they just are competing in an arena that's been created for them to compete in.
You talk about this a lot, and I kind of alluded to this in the description of this broadcast. You're very good at upsetting both sides, which used to be like a normal thing to do. I remember, you remember Sage Francis?
Yes.
You would know Sage Francis, I'm sure. Yeah, he had that line, I'm not left-wing or right-wing, I'm the middle finger. Right? Which I think about a lot, because now these days he's fully just gone into that paradigm of who the goodies and the baddies are and this, that, and the other. But it used to be, that used to be the sort of underground mode. It wasn't, we're not on that team or that team. We remember it was like Bill, like Alex Jones in a previous incarnation, Bill Hicks used to talk about the whole puppet nature of things, and around the time the whole Skull and Bones thing occurred, when you had those two candidates who went to the same school, and it seems to have become quite clear to a lot of people that the game was somewhat rigged, and to play in that game would just strengthen that game. So, and it felt like we got to this tipping point, but then along came the Trump thing and didn't just reignite. I think it kind of it created that Marvel paradigm of which you speak, which is an intense exaggeration of what had been there previously. Yeah,
I think there's a lot of deception. Like, say when George Bush was in office, they used pro-Americanisms like America, and you hate America if you don't like the war, you know, like you don't want revenge. And people fell for that for 8 years. And people like the Dixie Chicks, who I don't agree with their politics now, they were kind of right. They were like, George Bush, like the wars, no. And everybody disowned them and said they hated America. And then Obama won. And there was kind of like this undertone of like, well, you're kind of like racist if you don't like Obama. You know, like, what do you want, a white guy? Like, you know, Obama was kind of like playing basketball. And then it's like there's a quote I saw. I don't know if Albert Pike really said this, but there's a quote that they attribute to him that says, you know, when the people need a hero, give them a hero. So it's like, all right, the left needs a hero. Here's Obama, 8 years. People realize he's not it. They give you Trump, you know, this like right wing guy. And like, you know, he was very believable because Trump was probably the most authentic I've ever seen. And like, he'd call certain things out. He wouldn't play certain games. And he really did a good job to like make the appearance seem like he was the outsider crushing the establishment. But then after the lockdowns and the Operation Warp Speed, you kind of look back on it all, and I look at his cabinet, and it's like, dude, I can't name 2 good people he hired. He complains about Mitch McConnell's wife, right? He calls her like Coco Chow or whatever. He hired her for Secretary of Transportation for 4 years. He hired bankers to run the Federal Reserve. He hired pharmacy lobbyists to run HHS and FDA. He hired a former CIA director to run Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. His whole cabinet, I mean, he hired an FBI director that's still there to this day because Biden doesn't need to change him because it's like just a guy. So it's like he really didn't do what everyone thought he did, but now there's like the arrest and this and that, and the left and the right have lost their mind.
This time will be different, right? This time
will be different. Yeah. It wasn't me, it was my advisors. Like just recently,
there wasn't any war though. There wasn't any war.
Yeah, externally, but internally they kind of.
Yeah, this is a good point. So at the level of which I'd known my entire life, and we've known historically, there weren't those constant foreign wars, but there was. It was in the Dune record we did recently. Well, it's in the Dune books. Like when a government runs out of external enemies, it turns on its own people.
Right, and there's not a lot of people saying that, but that's how I see it. Like, I am grateful that he didn't start any new wars, and I did like him like getting along with Kim Jong-un. I thought that was cool. I liked him not, you know, like just him.
He's deeply entertaining is the problem. He's like deeply, deeply funny. There's never been a funnier president.
Right. Yeah, he's hilarious. But it is like what I've realized is that it is like a comedy routine where like here's the thing I noticed. He called Chris Christie fat in 2015, right? He's like, he's fat, he's disgusting, he's a fat boy, and you're like, ha, like it's kind of funny. And then you realize that he hired his FBI director because Chris Christie told him to. So he said on like Sean Hannity, he said, you know, he's like, I hired Christopher Wray because Chris Christie told me to. And he's like, I listen to Chris Christie a lot. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm like, okay, so now I have the data points that he makes fun of Chris Christie 4 years ago. He hires a guy because Chris Christie told him to. He plays the victim of the guy that he hired because Chris Christie told him to. Then he goes on campaign and calls him fat again. And everyone just goes, ha, 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 he's fat. But they're not realizing that it's just a comedy routine, and he actually like works with the guy. So like and the same way that the right is stubborn about that, like someone like Sage Francis, like we probably agree on a lot, but I don't know, does he like hate Trump a lot or something? He's liberal now.
Yeah, of course. He's like, yeah, that's the worst. That whole thing.
I think when you're, I mean, not to make like racial excuses, but when you're like white and rap, you have this like extra like, yo, I better like not seem racist, or I better like be with my boys, you know? Like I see a lot of like white rappers like just they have to like overcompensate because they're in a mostly black arena, you know what I'm saying? Where they're trying to get like street cred. So it's like Macklemore is like, I love gay people. I'm not gay, but I love them. But I love gays, but I'm not gay. But if I were gay, I'd love me. And you're like, all right, bro.
Macklemore's fucked up, man. Macklemore, they give him a Grammy. He's like, I don't deserve this. Give it. Kendrick should have got. Shut the fuck up, you embarrassment. Your ancestors are fucking spinning so hard. They could power an intergalactic warship, you sad piece of shit. Because he worked so hard. I remember his come up. Like, that guy didn't get any shit handed to him. He worked really fucking hard for like a decade plus.
He went too into that because like when he won the award, it probably should have went to Kendrick, but like he apologized once and you're like, all right, whatever. And then it was like an apology tour for like 3 months and you're like, all right, dude, this is pathetic. And then it was like whatever next song he put out, I think he put out like a white privilege song, and then it's just like cringe, bro. Like, come on, dude. Like you know, Rip Shop was cool. Even the gay song was cool to some extent. I mean, it was just like I'm saying like the melody of it was like the white privilege song was like just even cringier. But the same love, dude. I remember this guy Lord Jamar. He said, "Yo, they're pushing the gay agenda," and I was Vlad, like,
right?
"Yeah, I'm Vlad." Do you remember that? And I was like, I actually know Lord Jamar now. He's been on my show. I like him. I'm not like we're not best friends, but we're cool. And I remember thinking like, oh, he's exact at the time. You know, I'm in college. I'm like, yeah, he's overlooking. And I was like, no, he was totally right. He was just like 8 years ahead of the curve. So shout out Lord Jamar. He said that when no one would say it. He's like, I don't like this song. You know, everyone's like, it's great. He's like, it's not great.
I didn't like that song. But yeah, I feel bad for that guy. I ain't seen anybody get cucked that hard till iDubbbz. Like, that whole thing was depressing.
I didn't see that. I missed that.
Or the iDubbbz thing. Oh, that's another area of the incident. Do you remember iDubbbz?
I've seen the name. I know he's like a big streamer, but I'm not familiar with him.
That's interesting. So there was a generation of YouTube people who did like super edgy comedy on YouTube when you could.
Okay.
And you had iDubbbz and you had Ethan H3 and Joji, who was Filthy Frank at that point, and Max Mofo and all these kind of guys.
Okay.
And there came a period when the writing was very evidently on the wall around 2015, 2016, and they all pivoted. And iDubbbz, who'd been incredibly edgy and like saying the N-word all over the place and going on about how anyone should be able to use any word and this, that, and the other, did a complete 180 and became the very opposite. And he spent his whole time he tried to take down Sam Hyde for brownie points with the people he was trying to appease on the left, and it backfired in his face and made Sam Hyde bigger than he'd been for years. Anyway, it's a whole law thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's always kind of cringe when you do a 180 and it's like inauthentic and you're being like a snitch. It's never, it doesn't work well. I think like the universe kind of self-corrects often.
Does seem to in that regard. I want to play your new song because it's hard, and it also like kind of answers and raises a bunch of questions. Because I did want to talk about like your origin story. And we've talked about what you have been doing and what have you, but like we haven't gone in deep lore. And this new record is great in that it does a bunch of that stuff within it. So I'm going to put that on. Tell me about this song. Did you produce this song?
No,
I
didn't.
Who produced it? Because I swear at the beginning you say something like AN0MALY on the beat or something.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I found it was like the first beat when I looked on a website and I just snatched it one night. Yeah, I forget who produced it. I should know though. I apologize.
Yeah, you should. That's disgusting. I've never done that. I've never bought a beat. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had to teach myself to make beats because you didn't used to have to be able to buy beats when I was starting out. And I was in a rap group and my homie made the beats. And I got tired of waiting for him to make the beats and he didn't make them like I liked. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to have to teach myself to make beats. So I did.
I do have a new song where I made the beat. I'm pumped about it because I think it's really sick. But, I always work with producers. But at a certain point, I'd be like, yo, send me a pack of beats. And like they wouldn't. So I like just went and found one.
But they wouldn't.
Yeah, like they were busy or something where I'm like, dude, I want to write. I want to write. So then I
beat, you might talk about Donald Trump. That would fuck with my whole shit.
No, dude. Even my friends in LA and stuff, they made that beat. They made the I Like Trump beat. Like they never cared.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, like they made that's a made beat for me.
That was okay then though. Like you were allowed to at one point. If you remember, like, he went on Jimmy Kimmel or whatever the fuck, and the guy rubbed his hair. They hadn't decided to go full on. Oh, he's actually literally a Nazi at that point. It's kind of weird. That really accelerated after he won.
I mean, I have to say too, like there's been times where like people have said things to me or whatever, but my friends are my friends. And like, if you can't get over that, then we're not going to be able to work. So I don't think the people agreed with, like the people who made that beat, the one of them is like a Bernie progressive still to this day. The other one, I don't think like Trump, but he's apolitical, but they knew I was a real one and they weren't going to like ruin a friendship over it. So that like, there was never like a, don't say this or don't do this. They're like, no, that's cool. Like we get it. But like they didn't, that's a great thing though. Like they didn't agree, but they didn't freak out over it because they knew I was like an authentic person. I wasn't like, MAGA, what's up, dog? Like screw the wall. Like, I was just like, yo, I like Trump. Like it, I don't even know if I told them. I just rapped the lyrics. And they're like, all right, they're listening to the lyrics in real time. And they're like, oh, that's hard. Like they never had a problem with it. I'm lucky to have, good friends and stuff. And anybody that's not that way, I'll cut them out quickly, so they had no problem with it, but they don't like Trump, or they didn't.
Well, you don't know anymore either. Time is crazy. This song is called Working Class Boy. I didn't think they had class in the USA. Turns out they do, and this song is partly about that. It's also a little mini biography. I'm going to play it right now. Straight.
Hey. Yeah. It's AN0MALY on the beat, dream rare with the
See, AN0MALY on the beat.
with no defeat.
I know I was not fucking hallucinating.
Yeah. It's a nom on the beat, dream rare with the heat. I ain't stopping no defeat.
I'm a working class boy, working class
Hey, yo, make some
boy,
noise.
boy.
All them wave emojis in the chat. What up, Chris? What up, VBDC? Hey, Venice Beach Dub Club in the house.
I'm a working class boy, working class boy. I ain't grow up with a silver spoon, a working class boy. If you see that I ain't in the mood, then I ain't acting coy. Cause I work for everything I have, this car is not a toy. I'm a working class boy, working class boy. Really built it all from nothing, so this life I will enjoy. Lots of us, we share this story, sing this chorus out, enjoy. I won't let nobody stop us, show respect and make some noise. My father was a postal worker, mama single mom. Everything I got, I work for every day, I'm thanking God. Nothing came to me that easy, used to fight back on my block. Hated school, so I dropped out, then went back working on a farm. Girls I grew up with told me that I would never get this far. Moved to LA, broke with nothing, made my business from the clock. Used to have to take the bus with gang members to go to jobs. Never missed a day of rent or ask for money from my pops. I'm a working class boy, working class boy. I ain't grow up with a silver spoon, a working class boy. If you see that I ain't in the mood, then I ain't acting coy. Cause I work for everything I have, this car is not a toy. I'm a working class boy, working class boy. Really built it all from nothing, so this life I will enjoy. Lots of us, we share the story, sing this chorus out, enjoy. I won't let nobody stop us, show respect and make some noise. I'm a working class citizen, struggle for every dividend. The sun was sizzling, I was in the field with them immigrants. You might think different, but I practiced up on my penmanship and hope that one day my song and message will reach the world. This your anthem if you hustle for everything that you have. This your anthem if you've ever been down and worked to get back. They be looking at me funny like how is he upper class? Cause I built my wealth from nothing, you got it from mom and dad. I'm not hating, I'm just saying, sir, please do not disrespect me. Cause that dog, it still lives in me, and trust me, it isn't friendly. I know envy is the reason they really want to offend me, so I'm just gonna laugh it off and thank God, then go count my blessings. I'm a working class boy, working class boy. Filled with joy, told me quiet, but I end up making noise. Real McCoy, I ain't backing down, my army will deploy. I'm that boy, came from nothing, I know billions, know the feeling. I'm a working class boy, working class boy. I ain't grow up with a silver spoon, a working class boy. If you see that I ain't in the mood, then I ain't acting coy. Cause I work for everything I have, this car is not a toy. I'm a working class boy, working class boy. Really built it all from nothing, so this life I will enjoy. Lots of us, we share the story, sing this chorus out, enjoy. I won't let nobody stop us, show respect and make some noise.
Make some noise! Working class boy. Rhyming out with joy is such a righteous thing to do. Hey, I guess there he is. Yeah, it's a banger.
Appreciate you.
Banger, congratulations. Shouts out
Thank you,
everybody
man.
locked in. Christopher Barley, what's up? VBDC, Venice Beach Dub Club, what's up? You did a tune with Venice Beach Dub Club, is that right?
What's that? Yeah, we have a song, Fumdemic.
Boom. Christopher says Akira and AN0MALY, ain't that true? Whoa, this goes hard, says Bad Booty 93. Waves up, exactamente. Yeah, that was a banger. That was the first tune I've heard from you in a while. Was that your first tune in a while?
Probably since last year, yeah.
And what inspired the righteous ire on that one?
What's that?
Well, that one's very much a, oi, this is who I am, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
This is where I'm from, all that type
Right.
of thing. And like, you know, people don't necessarily do that song all the time. And usually there's a reason behind doing that song. Why
Right.
did you do that song at this moment in time?
I had the idea working class boy, like I don't know, I just had that concept in my head, and I was just saying like in my head working class boy, working class boy. And I was smoking weed at the time. I'm not anymore, and I just went on I just went online and I looked, it was like last year. I went online and I saw like the first beat and I listened to it. It was that beat, and I was like, you could buy an exclusive beat on certain websites, you know, $250, you pay the producer and you own it outright. And I wrote it. And then I woke up in the morning, I was like, was I just really high and I bought the first beat I saw just because like that's a stupid high thing to do? Like you think it's so fire, but it's not. Because sometimes I'll scroll and I'm very picky. So like I'll go through like 50 beats and be like, they all suck, or like I don't like any of them. So I listened to it in the morning. I was like, no, this beat's fire. I think I got one. And then, yeah, I just kind of making personal statements. I don't know. Yeah, it just kind of hit me. I'm not sure. I didn't think about it really beforehand as much. It was just like, all right, if that's the hook, then I gotta tell my story.
That's good. Those are the best ones. Sometimes you just like, it can't possibly be the first thing. Like the first chord I hit on the keyboard, or the first sample that fell out of my folder, or the first image that, you know what I mean? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it really, really is. And you shouldn't really question those things, because those are those divine things.
Especially with exclusive beats, like if I'm gonna buy a beat, like I try to work with producers and just split the song with them or give them their credit and percentage. But if I'm looking for a beat, I'm looking for like cheap exclusive beats, to be honest. I'm not trying to pay like $1,000 or anything. So like it's hard to find good cheap exclusive beats, because usually the best producers charge a lot. So like for it to be the first, that was like not like, that was only like $200 or something, $150. Like that beat is pretty sick. So, you know, like usually on cheap exclusive beat sites, I'll scroll for 2 hours and not find a single one. That one just slapped, and I like the bass of it. I like the speed of it. Like it just worked. But yeah, like, you know, the thing is, like, I'd rather work with people I like and give them half of the song than like pay an outrageous amount of money for a beat that I'm not even sure if I'm going to use. So.
But either way, that shit came out dope. And let's go in on that. So the beginning, it starts at the beginning, right? So your dad was a mailman. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your dad did the post. Was he a good mailman? Was he one of those conscientious mailmen who actually delivered the mail, or was he one of those waste mailmen who like?
My dad's the best. He's exactly who you'd want him to be. He's who, if you wanted a mailman, it would be my dad. He did a good job. He would always complain that, especially before he retired, you know, and got to the end of his career, he would say that like the problem is they incentivize people for going slow and being lazy. And he's the type of mailman that he would do it on time, even though it was like less financially convenient for him to do it. Like it would have been smarter for him to take more time and waste more time, but he never did it, and always said, you know, I don't like how everyone else does that. So he was the man. Like good guy to have in the community, and trustworthy guy, hard worker, and never slacked off even when it was financially convenient to do so.
Yeah, that's a good inspiration to have around. So you had him. How do you feel about your line of work?
I mean, I think he's like proud, but also I think he like, you know, I don't think he's like pumped about how public I am in many ways. Like, you know, maybe like a little nervous or something. Cause like, you know, when things are good, they're good. But when they get weird, they get weird. Yeah. So I would say he's proud and he's super happy, but he said to me for years, like, are you sure you want to do this forever? Like, don't you want to try to make money and like do something else? Like, you don't want to do this forever, do you? You know, like that's kind of the vibe, but he's not like, he doesn't hate it. He likes me, obviously. And like his friends know who I am and stuff. And he thinks that's cool. So like when I talk to like Jim Brewer or Roseanne, you know, like my dad's family, cause my parents are divorced, my stepmother, like they love Roseanne. That's like their favorite show. She's like, they like to the suburbs, you know what I'm saying? And like to like a working class family, Roseanne is like on a level. So the fact that I got to like meet and be friends with these people, they just think it's like the coolest thing, you know, like they're like, how did this happen? I was like, I don't know. Like,
I was gonna ask you about that later, because I keep seeing videos of you like driving around with Rosanna and shit.
Yeah, like we're the weirdest friend group. Like we're the weirdest friends ever. Like I don't, you know, we've been friends for like 5 years now. We've hung out a bunch. Like it's the most bizarre friendship ever, but it's fun.
How did you end up becoming friends with Roseanne? Of all the things,
Twitter. She saw a video I posted about the Syrian war. I was saying that they were lying about Syria or something, or like Trump shouldn't bomb Syria, something like that. She messaged me and she said, or she responded like under it, and I was like, Roseanne? And then I messaged her and she was like, hey, I want to talk about something. Like you should come to the studio. This is before she got canceled. She was filming the new season of Roseanne. She invited me to the studio. She invited me to the studio a lot, and the first thing I'm not going to say her handler because she has no handlers, but like her assistant or whoever the lot lady was, she goes to me, she goes, listen, you got 15 minutes before Roseanne's back on set. Do not talk about politics. She doesn't want to talk about politics. And I was like, okay. And then I went in, and that was not the truth. Roseanne, all she did was want to talk about politics. So like, I'm sure that was like some like employee that just had to say that. Like maybe she didn't want me to talk to Roseanne about politics. Like they probably didn't want her to talk about politics, but all she did was want to talk about real shit. So like she's smoking a cigarette, she's talking. Jesse Lee Peterson hit me up like 2 weeks before she did, and like he was like, hey, Like everyone at that point knew I knew Roseanne because I interviewed with her, and like everyone was like, "Oh, I want it," but I would never just like throw her out to people unless if it didn't seem right. But Jesse Lee Peterson's team was like, "Yo, we want to interview Roseanne," and I didn't say anything to her. But a week later, she texts me. She goes, "AJ, the Jesse Lee Peterson guy, I like him. I want to talk to him." And I was like, "You do? They want to talk to you."
Whoa.
And you know, so I kind of helped set that up, and I went and watched her interview with Jesse Lee Peterson. That was hilarious. And then she's like, "Yo, hop in my Tesla, like let's go to the Beverly Hills Hotel and get some like food." So like we've been kicking it for years, like just randomly. And then like when she got canceled, I interviewed her. When I went to Hawaii, like I hung out with her because like she's just out there. I want, you know, like it just kept like landing in that direction. I was like, I guess I'm like really good friends with Roseanne now. Like,
yeah, well, she a bad motherfucker. So, you know, that's one of them real recognized real type beautiful situations. It's crazy to think that they were doing a Roseanne reunion. So much has happened, like culturally. It's very dramatic in such a short space of time. But never mind that, because we're rewinding to the 90s, I believe, when you was a little anomaly. You know what I mean? And so,
what do you have? I'm excited. I don't know which one you have.
We was talking about your story, weren't we? So your dad was a mailman. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you respected your dad because he was a good mailman. He wasn't one of them run-of-the-mill mailmen. He was a good mailman. And then was your mama. And you said she was a single mom, so your parents split up when you was little?
Yeah, when I was like 4 or 3, like pretty young. And my mom raised me, but I saw my dad every other weekend or so. So like I was cool with both of them, but I lived with my mom primarily, and she was a hard worker. You know, she did whatever she had to do to like just pay rent and raise us. And she, we moved a decent amount, but she always made sure that I could play sports or do what I wanted to do. And she moved to like an area that had a good high school because she knew like, you know, get my kid to a good public school. So when it comes to like people talking about privilege, like I'm not, you could talk about race, it doesn't offend me or anything, but like, you know, I think if like my mom didn't care, that's what it was about. Because easily like we could have ended up in the hood or somewhere, but she always cared. So I'm pretty thrilled. I mean, both of my parents are good people. They're nice, and like didn't work out, but like I appreciate both of them, and they made me the man I am today. So yeah.
You were how old when you left?
What, my parents?
Yeah.
Oh, or to school.
Did you leave school at 16 or something like that?
No, I went to college. I went to West Virginia University. So I skipped this part, but like I was a big athlete. I played soccer, basketball. I traveled all up and down the East Coast. Like I was like a heavy soccer player. And I started smoking weed, freestyle, and rapping. I always loved rap. And I came to the conclusion I didn't want to play.
Oh, shit. This one of them could have played for the Dallas Mavericks, but they found crack in my jacket type situations.
I mean, I think I'm athletic enough to have played a sport pro, in my opinion. I mean, maybe that's cocky, but I think I could have, but I never had the drive. Like in high school, I didn't say like, oh, I really want to do this. Like I started smoking weed and saying like, I want to be a battle rapper. So like I kind of gave up on sports because like I wanted to rap. So I went to college at West Virginia University, and I just started rapping online. And within a year I had like 1 million views. So like that, I told myself like, okay,
that was that Piff era, right? That was like that period of time. That was post Little Wayne.
Absolutely.
Like mixtape era.
And with soccer or football, as they call it, you know, like if you play in Europe, you're the man, or anywhere else in the world. But in America, it's like, I was thinking to myself, if I'm not so good at soccer that I'm like one of the best pros, I'm going to have to bag groceries to the side because you don't make any money in American soccer. So I didn't want it bad enough. So I said, you know what, let me give it up now, or at least not try it that hard. Cause like, I'm not going to be pro. I'm not going to go to college and be pro. I don't care that much. So yeah, I started rapping, and Dat Piff, I had 1 million views and 100,000 song downloads. And I didn't even have a microphone. I had like a broken built-in like MacBook mic, but I hustled my music out to the masses with like mixtapes and videos, and I would do videos that got like 100,000 views and be like, hey, download my Dat Piff mixtape. And you know, I never even had a microphone, but the quality was good enough for people to like. And yeah, I hit the ground running. Honestly, I got success pretty quickly, and like I'm grateful for it, but I was always pretty good at marketing. Like I knew how to like
so I was gonna say, I mean, well, the microphone thing, like the first half of Wu-Tang 36 Chambers was recorded through headphones because they didn't have a microphone. Like it's a noble tradition. of people not having good microphones. You know what I mean? And it really goes to show, because it really isn't about the equipment. Equipment's like nice, it's kind of, but it's like the idea, the personality, the confidence, the skill, and then the marketing is most of it. You know what I mean? Like you could talk into one of these and make that wavy, if you're wavy.
Right.
You know. So like
Oliver Anthony, real quick, like dude, that guy blew up on you know the like.
I remember that guy.
That was like last year, or whatever. Like Richmond or. Dude, half his songs he was saying on Rogan, he's like, dude, I didn't even have the audio, so it was recorded with my iPhone, and I just ripped the audio. Yeah, I ripped the audio off that, and it's like, you know, that just kind of shows you. It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, that is, people get caught up, particularly nowadays, and you know, they'll go and people ask me all the time about like how to start producing and what they should buy and what they need and da 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 da. And like you go online and it's all these people doorless and this, that, and the other, reviewing all this equipment and this, that, and the fucking other. Like, it doesn't matter what you use. What matters, obviously, is like, A, do you love it enough to get good enough at it? If you just have to use a rock and you're just gonna bang a table, can you get good enough with a rock and a table? If you love it that much, then you'll get good enough. It doesn't matter what you use it. But
having good equipment doesn't hurt, but definitely like you could, you know, if you want it bad enough, you'll make it with the door, you know.
Yo, I mean, this motherfucker is just, this thing can do more than what most people had access to in human history. Like, there's zero excuses in that regard. And there's fucking songs on the charts. Not that that means very much with regards to quality, but there's songs on the charts that are made by people talking into these things these days. Like.
I know you don't have to load it up, but like if you could find some of the videos of me 19, like I did a Millie freestyle in my car, but a Millie, bro, we had a flip, like the flip camera was the big thing. I said, Mom, buy me a flip camera for Christmas. It's $150 or something. It was not that expensive, but like it looks so bad now. But when I had it, dude, like, did we live in a pixelated world that wasn't real? Because like I got that and I was like, whoa, this looks amazing. But like, dude, you can't even see it. How did we do this on computers? It's crazy, bro. It's so nuts. Yeah, it's probably there. Real talk, that's a good one. But no, yeah, it's a Millie freestyle, dude. It was a flip phone. It's not gonna be on this. You're gonna have to search because it's actually on another. It's on another YouTube page. A Millie. And look how many views it has. Look, 186K. Bro, I was cooking.
Look at that. 15 years ago with your bowl cut. Look at you with your. Look at that fringe and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on. Excuse me.
I was in the car.
You're in the car.
Yeah.
You can probably turn it down.
Turn it down.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Put it up. Alright, check this shit out. Yeah.
This is just straight up car recording.
Stands out like chameleon food, but this instrumental's been really abused by about 1 million dudes. And I can't lie, I'm just not feeling your crew. And I won't stop till I get 1 million views. I would ask you to walk a mile or even eat a meal in my shoes if I didn't throw him at Bush while he was dealing the news. Did you see him stumble like someone's been stealing his cues? 8 years in office, wait, I'm really confused. I'm the visible truth.
What you see? You're doing the same thing. That's crazy. He was doing that in a car with a fringe, but you're doing the same thing.
In the news, did you see him stumble like someone's been stealing his cues? 8 years in office, wait, I'm really confused. I'm the visible truth. Typical, I get political too. I hope you take notice that these are the same syllables used. At the beginning, didn't even use a filler or two, which means my rhyming officially makes me iller than you. And hungrier too. Come find me at Chili's in a booth or in Philly, straight MC killing for food. My style like Big Willie, I'm cool. And if you feel I'm a spoof, bite my lyrics harder than if you had steel in your tooth. Or just fall back, acknowledge that I will stand the test of time. Get inside, I'm next in line, at least you did your best to try. I must confess I'm high unless you're with the FBI, then allow me to correct my rhyme. Fuck it, let's go get a dime. Why all the drama about marijuana? Even Obama used to inhale and be ever so fond of ganja. The beat just dropped out, but no, that ain't a problem. I'ma solve it, unlike the beat, I ain't stalling. They say I flow over snares like a river. Your flow just isn't there, like it's froze when it's cold in the winter. And yes, I know it's December time for holidays, but I gotta say, try to find someone with hotter sprays. For Christmas this year, for your children made shopping easy. They wanted only 3 anomaly posters and a CD.
Oh, damn.
I ain't got a CD though, yeah. But if I did, yo, you fucking kids would want it, yo. Alright, yo, peace out.
Oh wow. Holy shit. Wow, what a guy.
I said, I was like, why all the drama over marijuana? Even Obama used to inhale and be ever so fond of ganja.
Yeah. And talk about George Bush, 8 years.
Drone juice.
Shit,
Yeah,
some of the
dude.
news. I'm confused. Wow. And that was, what year was that? It was 15 years ago.
2009, maybe 2008.
2009 blog rap era. That shit's crazy. And that was in a car. You didn't have the,
Yeah.
the audio, just in a car.
No,
Going
I was
hard.
like, turn it down because I was afraid the audio wouldn't turn out good. Like they wouldn't be able to hear my voice. And no, turn it up. My boy's like, that's my boy Mikey. Turn it up. All right, fine, whatever. You know.
Hey, yo, shouts out, not your problem. Appreciate you. Says, awesome story. Thanks for sharing. Cosmic Kangaroo says, smartphone more powerful than equipment that got man to the moon. Do you think men went to the moon?
No.
There.
Nah, I don't.
I showed my son that shit and I didn't say anything. I was like, this is so this. What do you think? And he just pissed himself laughing. He just burst out laughing. He's like, no, really? Is that a joke? Really? Ha! Like, yeah.
He goes to put it back in the, in like the tinfoil drawer. You're like, no, that's the space landing thing.
Yeah. And then they found President Nixon, right? And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It just like no latency or nothing. Just like, what up? Yo, yeah. Like, I can't do that with my wife at lunchtime. You know what I mean? She's down the other side of the garden. Anyway. What up, Shecky? What up, Cosmic? What up, VVDC? Oh, yo. I don't know. How did we even get you talking about AN0MALY? We were talking about your come up and shit, and then suddenly we were deviated to you in a car. I think we were talking. It was the flip phone thing or something.
Yeah,
Maybe.
like that was the flip. That was a flip camera. It was called a flip camera, and it was just like, hey, you can get a camera in your hand that records videos. Like that was the whole like gimmick of it. I was like, oh, sweet. Let me buy that and then wrap in the car.
And you did rap and car. Oh, that was it. You were going to tell me about your young marketing genius. Because how you getting million streams on a dat piff? Because it's not like, here's the thing, right? My first mixtape got 1 million downloads. But my first mixtape was the first online mixtape. There was literally no other online mixtapes. Now, if you go on Wikipedia, it will tell you that the first online mixtape was a Ghostface Killer mixtape that came out 18 months after my mixtape. So obviously that's not true. But when I did that and I put that out, and then I was going around Wu-Tang Corp message boards and all these places, like people didn't know you could download a mixtape. Wow, so loads of people downloaded it because there weren't any other mixtapes to download. Right? So I got 1 million downloads on that mixtape. When you were doing it, there was a lot of people making mixtapes. So how did you differentiate yourself at that time period to the point that you were getting that kind of recognition?
Yeah, definitely more people than zero. If you were that early, then like, yeah, there was a lot more competition. I would say SEO, like search engine optimization, is what they call it now. I didn't know what the name was, but I just said like, all right, how do I get? Because there weren't that many videos on YouTube. There weren't that many, like Will Smith wasn't on YouTube. YouTube was like like the celebrities go on TV, you go here. So I started just figuring out titling. I would rap over instrumentals and put the whole like if you see that, it's like AN0MALY raps over a Millie instrumental, a Lil Wayne AN0MALY instrumental. So then it's like
AN0MALY kills AN0MALY instrumental.
Oh, there you go. Yep. So if you search a Millie instrumental, that would come up first. I'd rap over that instrumental. If you search for that, you would not always find it under the song, but it would always be the second thing under the instrumental. So it's like just kind of like accumulating views that way. I also entered a contest called the Air Timpani Contest by Wax and Herbal Tea. If you've ever heard them, they're like these twins that are really cool. And I won the contest. So like it was like a 5-person tie. And there were like hundreds or thousands of entries, but I was one of the 6 that won. So that helped me get a lot of clout too. Cause like everyone at that time, not only did I get clout from like winning, but just being in the competition, and everyone, like all the thousands of rappers would check like all the other ones. Like it was easier to to see things. Like now, you know, it's not that way, but it was more interactive. So just being in that competition and winning it gave me like a baseline to start. Like I had a fan base.
From a competition. I feel like that.
Yeah,
I feel like that wouldn't happen now. I feel like competitions are like a relic of a bygone, wholesome era. Do people still have competitions? Do people still respect the victors of competitions? Does that happen?
In sports and stuff, but I mean, like, say, like Scribble Jam was where you'd go for battle rap. That doesn't exist anymore. You know, that's dead. Even though that's the coolest thing ever. Like Scribble Jam was the shit. Yeah, internet competitions. I don't think they're as popping as they used to be for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that the culture allowed to evaporate. Like mixtapes. You don't get mixtapes anymore.
And those guys that I entered the contest, their name were Wax and Herbal Tea. They're twin brothers. They were the shit, man, because like they were really good at rapping, but also they were one of the first people to upload the car rap. Like that, I did that because they did that. You know, like I rapped in my car.
In a car.
Well, yeah, I always did it anyway, but like I saw them post it on YouTube, and that's where I was like, oh, I could post me rapping in my car like with my friends on YouTube, because they were like the first ones who did it, and they were so sick. So, but like you just, you know, you didn't really think of these things. Like when you put out the mixtape, it's like, what's a mixtape? And then you're like I rap with my friends, but I don't put it out. And then I saw them put it out, and that's what they were doing, was just, you know, rapping in their car. And it was inspirational because not only did I do it, but I didn't have the equipment to do anything else but that. So that let me know that you could even do that, because that, you know, there's a thought process of like, how am I going to compete with Ace of Base? You know, they have a music video like with my car, you know, like it's a random thing, but like, you know, Limp Bizkit has these like $100,000 music videos, you know, like you can't really compete with that. But they showed me that you really could. And like, there's this one by them, I forget, it's Wax and Herbal Tea diss Jay-Z. They don't really diss Jay-Z, but like they were rapping in the car and they're like twin brothers. And I was like, dude, these guys are freaking dope. So they were like, enter this contest. And I did. That's sick.
See, this is why you had that affinity for the Island Boys, because you saw that they reminded you of them, clearly.
No, I mean, I would say with the Island Boys, it's just like, I'm not a hater, and like that the melody was just kind of cool.
It was fire.
You know,
it was a fire melody. It was a fire song. When
it was
they
cool.
turned it into an actual song, it was terrible. I felt like whoever mastered it fucked it up completely. I don't know if you saw the music video, which was really bad, but it was like really distorting and not in a way that's deliberate. They just fucked it up somehow and managed to upload a distorted version of the song.
They did remind me of like when you're with your boys, like you just keep repeating the same. Like if it's good, you're like, yo, I'm on to something. Like that's how I see them. They're like, I'm an island boy and I'm trying to make, and it's like, hey, let's just repeat this for 3 minutes because it's so fire. Yeah, like I've had a moment. I was jamming with my brother recently and his friends, and like I thought of a hook in my head, and I was a little drunk too, but like I repeated it like 100 times because like as I'm freestyling, I freestyled the hook, but then I'm like piecing it together. You know what I'm saying? I'm repeating it, but it's like, let me fine tune it. And then like by the end of it, I'm like, all right, that's what it is. But I probably said the same thing 100 times in a row. But I'm like, I'm not getting off this. Yeah, I'm not getting off this moment until I perfect it. Yeah.
So you find the moment. That's what you do. That's what comedians do when they're writing a joke. They tell the same joke 1,000 times until the joke is correct. When you're making a beat, my son will come down here and hang out while I'm making a beat. He'll sometimes go, Dad, it's like sometimes you're just listening to the same thing over and over for half an hour. I'm like, no, there's been subtle differences here, okay? There's been like, that's a different snare to what you remember from half an hour ago, actually. But that's, people don't realize a big part of music is just like the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until it's right. And what you hear is when we got it right, or when we thought it was right, because that's completely subjective. You know what I mean?
Did you see the Working Class Boy, what mix it was that I sent you?
Yeah,
do you
number
remember?
4 or something. I actually kept
14.
it. 14. Was it 14? Yeah, because I added it to my DJ library and I kept in the mix bit. I didn't edit it that out the title because I thought that might be used. Yeah, mix 14.
14. Yeah.
Who mixed this thing?
Kinfolk John.
So he must hate you, right?
No, yeah, for sure. But like Kinfolk, I told him, I was like, I shouted you out on my other stream too. Because yeah, like well at first I didn't have like the hook right, and like I turned down like Working Class Boy, and then I like it wasn't hitting right, so I was like, how do I do it? So I did it like lower, but then put my voice above it, and then there were little parts where I kept changing it. Dude, I tried to change it to like 16 because I was listening to so much. I took a week off. He like ignored me a little bit, not in a rude way, just probably like sleep on it, bro. And then I came back. And then I came back and I was like, mix 14 is perfect. And he's like,
good.
okay.
Yeah.
But I told him if he was gonna do any more, I was gonna pay him extra. You know?
That's good. No, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's the job. That's the job. The I just finished my new Marcus Aurelius album, and we spent months mixing that. Like I mix my own stuff to a certain point, basically to the point that it used to be when you heard my shit up until 2019. Then I started working with this guy James Miller, who's a genius, and then I'll hand it over to him, and he'll do final tune, like genius level shit. But we spent months on that. I don't know what version. It was like, just at the final point, it's just like, there's a slight frequency on that one snare at 3 minutes and 56 in that if we just pull it back a little bit, it'll create a greater impact with what comes after. And this ridiculous subtle shit that's really important, but nobody knows, and no one will ever hear it. No one will ever know. You listen to a song, you just listen to the song, you like it or you don't.
When I, VBDC, if he's still here, we got along pretty easily when we did our song because he's extremely picky. And I'm extremely picky, so like I bet I annoy the crap out of certain people, and he probably annoys the crap out of certain people. But like nothing he said, like mixing the song, annoyed me because like we almost always like heard it and like it was like, yo, let's make it better. That's not right. And some people, it's like, yo, let's just get done with it. But like we hit that pretty like we're the same type where it's like, yo, I'm OCD about things, but it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like every little bit matters. So like I was laughing when we were mixing that song because like every like thing he wanted to add was perfect, but like I was like, bro, I bet most people don't want to do that shit, and that's how it is with me. It's like, dude, mix 14 is like psychotic, but at the same time, if you heard mix 2, it sucked. Like mix 2 is bad. And dude, I edited the Fumdemic video because the guys who edited for me, their first take was like terrible, and I was like, give it to me. I edit videos, and it's like, it's 1,000 times better than it would have been. So I'm
gotta do that shit.
Yeah.
The video's not out yet, is it?
The Working Class Boy, I haven't done a video for it yet.
Oh, you were talking about the Fumdemic one.
The Fumdemic one,
right,
yeah.
I ain't seen that. But I do have the tune. So let's listen to that. Why not? This is Fumdemic, Venice Beach Dub Club, and AN0MALY. When did this come out?
2021, 2022.
Oh shit! So this is vintage at this point. We're gonna listen to the sound of 2021. This was a
or 2022.
Oh, okay. So this is
I don't know.
Slightly scarred. This is because things are kind of different after 2020. It's a shift. Everyone.
Maybe 2022. Let me look it up, dude. I don't know. Now you got me out. I'm wondering.
All right, let me check it out. This is not a master. Whoever sent this, Venice Beach Club Club. This is wow.
Oh, 2021.
I'm gonna have to turn this up. 21. That's a scar record. Hey.
Yes, sir. Brothers and sisters.
What up, though?
We're moving up. I'll be going higher and higher. I fly like a pilot.
Oh shit! I heard this before.
Then someone no fun.
I heard this when it came out.
Baby, don't worry.
Hey.
You're good enough. You be looking good just the way that you are. Life is crazy. We're all playing our part. Brothers and sisters. Hey. We're moving up. I'll be going higher and higher. I fly like a pilot, and I don't like the balance. I'm wildin' no fun. When it comes to loving, hey, we got the stuff. It tastes like a potion, potent, float like ocean. It's feel like a roller coaster. How y'all feeling tonight? I can really rap just a little bit. Tastes like cinnamon when you feel the flavor I'm living in. I don't sweat a critic, I'm in the city replenishing. Drop top, new roof, Truman Show like experience. Sunlight beaming, smoking earth for the evening. I ain't bulimic, I'm eating food and I'm cheesing. You got one life, live it. Eating me or you vegan, it ain't up to me, you do you. I'm in the season of reason. I got a reason I'm speaking and this ain't easy to leak it. But I got stoned with the preachers. I climbed the rope to the bleachers and I was hoping for peace through the balance of good and evil. Yin and yang be the sequel, the black and white make it equal. But I ain't lying, deceitful. I make mistakes, real people, a human being to reach you. The great area teach you it's way scarier trying to make barriers. See through the lies from the politicians. They red and blue like the policemen. Hey. Yes, sir. Yeah. It's way scarier teach you the lies from the politicians. They red and blue like the policemen. Hey. Brothers and sisters.
Yo, make some noise. Make some noise. Fumdemic, Venice Beach Dub Club, AN0MALY. Word around town, this was the #1 iTunes reggae song at some point in 2021, I believe. Is that factual? Is that factual?
2021, yeah.
2021.
Yeah, it definitely was I don't know, definitely for probably the whole week, definitely a few days.
That's some crazy rinky-dinky coincidency. Venice Beach Dub Club has been hanging out at these streams the past week or two, and then then you appear.
He texted me and was like, yo, are you going to be on Akira's show? He said you were going to be on. I've been listening to his stream. You know, he's super positive and like good times because, you know, a lot of people are not as cool as you. Let's just put it that way, you know? So
Really?
he had identified that you were pretty cool.
That's true.
I know, it's just true. Bro,
Man.
people, imagine if everyone had your hairstyle and you walked out one day and everyone had it.
Yeah, that would be funny. Hey, I know. This is true. Everyone who hangs out at the Meaningstream is super cool though. This is the most super positive place in the world. Everyone is delightful. Shecky, how are you doing? Says woo. JC the Lionheart says let's see those wave emojis. That's a very good point. Wave emojis, flood chat, aura. What up, Nightbot? Big Bad Wolf says bangers. Whatever. Yeah, shouts out to Venice Beach Dub Club. Nice one. How did you two meet? Whoa.
Through social media, definitely. Like he had sent me his music, like, you know, and it was fire. It was just like, you know, a lot of people send me stuff and like, check this out, or can you? And I listened to it, and it was I'm trying to think of the exact song it was, but I was like, dang, this is really good, you know? Like, I was like, I'm gonna add this to my playlist.
That's sweet.
Sometimes people send you stuff and they'll be like, my brother raps, check it out. And you're like,
yeah.
you know, like, or like, they're my cousin, he raps. And like, anytime someone says their friend raps and it's not them, you're like, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool.
It's depressing. So yeah. Sometimes you just know though. It's just like, yeah, I ain't gonna press that play button on that because that's just gonna make me like lose respect for you. So like, you know what I mean? So you don't. And that's cool. But so that was. I remember that actually when that came out though. So shouts out to you on that one. Big Bad Wolf says super wavy. What up, wifey in the chat? What up, wifey? Evil Doctor Mainstream says crossover I never expected. JC Lionheart says what is it? Said creative. Who is it that said creativity is about making mistakes, or is it about knowing which mistakes to keep? Yeah, something like that exactly. It's subjective. Like, you know what I mean? Like I try not to play. I aim at not playing works in progress, because what will happen is someone will hear a song and they'll love it, but you ain't finished with it yet. And then when you finish it, they won't like that finished version because they already fell in love with the earlier version. And that'll be the one they like the most. You know what I mean? Like sometimes back in the day when people used to play live, you'd see a band play a new song live for the first time, and then it'd come out and you wouldn't like it the recorded version as much because you liked the inflection they had on the bit of it in the version you saw live. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, me and Trap, we have a second song. It's not out yet, but they sent me the first mix with like a echo, like a 90s rap echo, and I was like, bro, take the echo off. And like, you know, I talked to I didn't like it, and I like the final version now, but I talked to the bassist, and I was like, did you hear the new song? And he was like, yeah, bro, I mixed it. And he goes, I put the 90s reverb on it. He's like, I think it was fire. And I was like, I'm like, you the man, bro. But like, it's not, but it's subjective. It's not like I said, oh, you're wrong. I just was like, I liked it the other way.
You say you were wrong.
No, well, no, I mean,
90s reverb.
But, well, you could play it for 20 people, and I guarantee you that there'd be, you know, some people would like it one way, some people would like the other way.
But it's like you get to decide if you're making the thing, you're the one. That's all it is. An artist is someone who makes decisions, right? You make decisions with purpose, right? That's literally all you're doing. You're like, the brushstroke goes there, the word goes there, the syllable goes there. Reverb, no. Reverb, yes. That's purely it. So you're making decisions. So you're an artist. That's what an artist does. You get to decide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what someone does. Go on.
No, I was saying, if I rapped over this beat, would it be on beat or would it be like echoed because we're in different places?
I don't know. I think it should work.
I was gonna say, it doesn't fit the beat, but I'll rap my lyrics to the song over this. I just gotta rap it faster this time. I'll let it go back one time. I'll see.
Nice.
But these are the lyrics on the new song. It's not out yet, but I could do it double time here. Ready? It's gonna be faster. They dumbing down the population. No hate and just observation. Make mass profits from inoculation. Give women pills and stop ovulation. This campus, no concentration. I'm controversial. Stop debating. The simple truth is now God-forsaken. I'm confiscating this sloppy matrix. I don't care for your occupation. I want all humans in this conversation. I'm Harry Truman with the bonds of Jason. If you try to stop me, I will not just take it. God bless. I'm a thoughtful patron, but the current West is an abomination. It's time to face it. My proclamation is wake up before it all gets taken.
What? What? Well, I have to take that beat off now because you just laid waste out on it, and that was just, you just disrespected that lovely beat. What was that from?
That's the new song. It's with Trapped. It's just my first verse on the new song.
Oh wow!
It's not even out yet.
You just leaked the shit out of that verse.
I leaked it on Roseanne first because I rapped it for her, and she was like we were live on her podcast, and she's like, I like that rap. Can you do that rap? And I'm like, hell yeah. So I did it. I did it a cappella, but yeah, it's been leaked. I'm trying to I hope he puts it out at some point, but he made me do a green screen video. Like the lead singer Chat was like, yo, do this green screen video, take pictures of your face and stuff, like at angles. I was like, okay. And then the video guy didn't do it. He was gonna turn me into an avatar or something. I was like, bro, I don't know what you're doing, but I'll do it. You know, I'll film it. So I think it's not out because the music video fell through.
Huh. Well, so we need a campaign for that one. Yo, make some noise in the chat. Oh, Nick, yeah, people are making noise in the chat. We got nuke emojis in the chat. Nick Mayoga says, sheesh. Big Bad Wolf says, fire. Big Bad Wolf says, bars. Dirk from Texas says, whoa. Jason dropping flame emojis. Yeah, Big Bad Wolf says, you can't make a bad move on true art. Yeah, quite. Yeah, that was good. Hey, that works.
Yeah.
It did, but the point being is, now we know that you can do live rapping on a Zoom call and there isn't latency. You appear to be on that. That's good.
I could rap on anything. I could freestyle. I could double time my verse if it adds up. You know, I've been doing it since I'm ready.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you are. Because here's the thing. I was going to ask you about this because you've been spending so much of your time, making people upset on the internet for sticking to your opinion and not joining a team. You know what I mean? You haven't had as much time for doing all the rapping and all that sort of thing, right? Which was your first love.
I guess it's a mixed bag because when I was rapping before too, I had to do other jobs. So it's technically I have the time for whatever I want to now. It's just I'm so engulfed in what I'm doing that I don't make excuses for it. I could pretty much, if I need to take a week off and go on tour for a week, I can do it. It's just I'm going to lose money on the videos or whatever. So, but no, I would say I have more time because now I could take the whole month off if I really wanted to and do an album.
Well,
I would
just did that single. So obviously you've still got it.
Yeah.
Are you going to do an album? Is that
probably just single by single? Probably single by single, because if I did an album, I'd want it to be great and cohesive, not all over the place. So if I found the right producer and we were like, hey, let's go to Aspen for a month and you know what I'm saying, make an album, or I'm down to do that, but I don't want to piece together a bunch of beats, a bunch of producers, a bunch of mixes. I'd rather do it right and try to win a Grammy or something, you know? Do it epic, 1,000 times better than anyone. But for now, I have a song. I made a beat with my little brother. And I'm going to put that out next. It's just me rapping over a bass line I made.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think, singles, you can just bang out singles until you find that right moment. You can do that now. A lot of people don't even do albums anymore. You know what I mean? You can just fucking drop nukes.
Yeah, I feel like the days of albums, it's not bad to do or anything. It's cool, but it doesn't sell like it used to. It's one by one, and a lot of the biggest songs recently, they blow up on TikTok for reasons that don't even have to do with the main line in their song. It's just oh, you know that break, I could dance to that, or it sounds good behind my video of me doing makeup tutorials. So it's the game is interesting, where for me, I'm just trying to drop good songs and hope it sticks.
Here's the thing though, because this is the thing that interests me about you. It's I don't think that you necessarily need to exist within the traditional music industry. You've already built yourself your own lane. Like what you are in the sort of commentating or what have you space is the thing you created that didn't exist. You just did it, right? So I don't see why you should have to concern yourself with the traditional music industry or how people are doing things anymore. You've built an audience. A section of that audience will appreciate what you do because you're good at it and they like music. Not all of them, but a proportion of them will. And that's enough to start something that will then move on to other people and what have you if you're dropping shit with consistency and confidence and quality, which you have and you can do.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Like, when I was younger, I was like, I want to sign or I want to do this. But since like I've already made it like on my own, I'm just like, I want to do whatever I want to do. So like the last couple of years, I've been doing
an interview with you from 2009 where you were saying like that you didn't want to sign with a major label. You didn't necessarily want to do that.
In 2009?
Yeah.
Where
some
interesting.
Like local paper. I think it was 2009.
Yeah. I never cared. Like it was always like I liked underground rappers, so I wasn't like I need to do that. I think at that time I had offers or something, and they like were bad offers, so I just declined. But now, you know, last year it's like I could drop music whenever and make it like what I want it to be. But this year I do want to be more consistent and you know, do a little bit more. But I don't feel like, oh, if I don't get signed tomorrow, I'm going to go broke, or like, if I don't make a hit, like, I don't really care. And doing shows in front of a lot of people is like super rewarding. Like, thanks to that band, it's really their shows. I just do my song, but like, you know, that gets the blood flowing. Like I just did Anaheim.
Right. That reminds you of something. It reminds you of a thing that you were in love with and why you went out on that journey and why you went to LA and all that type of stuff. And it's funny because we go on these hero's journey adventures, and sometimes we go on these detours and we find different things that lead us down somewhere. But you know, that reason, if something's unfinished within you, or if there's still a hunger in you, or if there's still a desire to, you know, utilize those skills that you developed, you know, you should. It would be rude to yourself not to.
And I'm sure you know as well as a performer, like just the live energy is just something you can't replicate online. So, you know, I think it was, what's today, Tuesday? I guess it was Saturday. It was at Anaheim. We played at the House of Blues. It was sold out. It was like 400 people in the room. And every time I get on stage, like most people there probably don't know me, and they're there to see the band. So like, that's kind of the vibe I always have, is like, I got to be really good, or else they're going to be like, why did this happen? You know, like this isn't the song I know. And I've never had a problem, whether it's 5,000 people, 10,000 people, like a couple hundred people. Like, that's why when people say things online, like stick to news, or they'll say this and that, it's like, dude, I've never once been booed, or like, you know, people didn't want it to happen. Like I always get like a roaring applause, and I'm a really good performer. I can hit the lyrics really fast. I don't mess up. I'm engaging with the crowd. So it's more than even just like, oh, it reminds me. It's just like, it's so much cooler than arguing with people on Twitter, like being in a room with like hundreds of people. Even dance, like, dude, I like even just dancing to your music. Like, dude, I'd much rather dance to your music than like talk online. You know, like dancing is so fun. Like, you know, like I'm not the star of the show or anything, but in my head I am.
Yeah,
you know,
but you are exactly that. Like you are at that moment. That's the truth, though. That's why that shit's so important. Like at that moment, you are.
I love dancing, dude. I love dancing. I love letting loose. I like, you know, like just.
Yeah. Well. There's a thing that, you know, I've noticed, well, obviously, that people in the YouTube space have started to go, okay, how do I monetize my YouTube-ness and do another thing? So they'll start selling coffee or making comic books and stuff of that nature, right? And someone like yourself, you've already got a thing that you do that you're good at, and that could be a way of you being able to do that thing without having to concern yourself with the creepy machinations of the so-called music industry, you know?
Right. I could come on Akira and just drop a verse on an Akira beat, you know?
Yeah,
should I hit another verse?
Yeah.
Should I hit another verse on it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna hit my third verse on the first song I did with them.
Nice.
It's gonna be way faster than normal, but I'm gonna do it like it's like double time.
I can play you a slower beat if you want.
Let's go. No, I like it. I got it.
All right.
My hair long like Don King. They'll divide the nation like Sean King. I'm a rock star like the offspring. Consider wisdom I'm offering. MLK wanted content, plus Malcolm X, they got shot dead. Y'all better not come for my head, cause I got God, he don't want threats. That Secret Service, I speak in verses like Allah, Hashem, and Jesus worship. Y'all people's perfect like he's imperfect. I'll bring the church, you can keep the sermon. One love, each his words, even the World Cup like a FIFA derby. When karma come and go all at once, so you better beg on your knees for mercy. Stop the hate and stop the threats. And Obama blue or that MAGA red, I know we can find a common thread and make world peace like Ron Artest. Stop the hate, stop the threats. And Obama blue or that MAGA red, I know we can find a common thread and make world peace like Ron Artest. Yes.
What? Yo, it's that legendary energy. It's that legendary energy. On the other side is greatness beat. Make some noise for AN0MALY, aka legendary energy, aka dream rap, aka you got any other AKAs? I feel you got a gang of AKAs.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's interesting with the faster beat because like one time they got a new guitarist and like they switched the guy out and he played it way too fast live. Like it's supposed to go like way slower and he played it like triple time. But I know how to rap to the beat. But a lot of MCs they like freeze up and be like, yo, this is not what we practice, or this is like. But I know how to keep tempo, like, you know. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be. It's gonna sound like a tape recorder, you know, but it's better to do that than like screw up and stand there and poop your pants.
Yeah. He says poopy pants on a David Goggins beat.
Hey, carry the boat, don't poop your pants, okay? I'm David Goggins. You can't be out here pooping your pants. You gotta carry the boat and try hard. If you don't try hard, you're a pussy.
Yo, he actually did poop his pants and he talked about it.
He pooped his pants?
Yeah, he's talking about it. This on the vocal version of this record. He's talking about how he was like doing some ridiculous ultra marathon. He's like fucking 2 days into it or something. He said, I got poopy pants. He shit himself.
Dang.
And he just kept going. He like broken his ankle or some shit. He's got shit dripping down the back of his legs. Right, don't be fuck. You know,
That's grimy.
hey, there's Yo, we got a request here as we come to the end of this legendary energy type of a situation broadcast thing. Venice Beach Dub Club has requested Matrix Breaker. And you want to tell me about this Matrix Breaker shit?
Yeah, so it's funny. I think the producer of that song doesn't like me anymore, but that's okay. We still made it. It's it's the Grammy. I don't know if they're nominated or award winning, but the Justice League. They're a big yeah.
Justice
so one
League
of the members hit me
man.
up. Yeah, they hit me up and they like my videos, and I said, let's do a song. We did this, and basically what happened was I should have done something else, honestly, but he told me to put it out and sell it, but it was a sample. And I said, dude, all my music's 100% royalty free. I don't want to like try to sell a song I don't own. So I put it out just on SoundCloud for free, and then he never talked to me again. But like he was telling me, just put it on Spotify, and like if they hit you up for royalties, like the person who made the sample, then just pay them. But they probably won't care. And I was like, I don't know, bro. I'd rather not, like I have all of my songs are 100% owned. Like it's not a sample that I never cleared, but he said, don't worry about clearing it. And I just dropped it on Spotify and YouTube, and he got pissed. He's like, what the fuck? You're wasting my beat.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's a good song too.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much, that's what people do. Young Gravy did that with Magic. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it blew up, and then it disappeared off Spotify for a week, during which time he negotiated something with the people, and then it went back up again. Here's the thing with that.
I probably should have done that.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing. But like, you know what I mean? Worst case scenario, what happens?
I don't know. The guy don't like me anymore, but he don't want to.
Hey,
I think he just thinks I wasted a beat because he probably charges a lot, and he's like, here's one for free, know, and he's like, this stupid kid like just blew it. And I was like, I don't know, bro. I'm not trying to, I don't know. I'd rather get the sample cleared personally than beforehand, but I guess, I should have listened to him maybe, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well,
God bless the guy, man. Yeah, it's a moment. It happened. It's a song. It exists. So
yeah, and we're gonna check it out for Venice Beach Dub Club, who says that's the diamond, or that's the diamond emoji. I don't know if that has a different meaning.
They said I'd never get here. Justice League.
They told me not to rap about politics. They said
I
just
remember
talk about
this.
women and drugs like they wanted me to kill the kids or some shit. But you know, I went my own route. 250 million views. No deal, no label, no manager. Y'all fucked up. Listen, hold up. I'm bringing hip hop back, they tried to kill it like Gaddafi. Rest in peace, the prodigy, sorry the system got you. They sleeping in the streets, but bet they feel this in Zimbabwe. Spend $1 trillion fighting war, but still ain't lifting up the projects. It's a mindset, and they don't want you to find strength. I might flex and raise the children to heights, yes. I know these rap sites ain't gon' give me that interview, cause in 10 minutes I could probably brighten up the interview. They don't want you to have self-awareness, they want you helpless, careless. They want you dead on welfare, they want you bred to bring hell here. They want you fighting in the streets, so you're not grateful for the freedom in this country, hell yeah. They want you locked up or voting for them liberals. That means bigger government, don't get this shit confused. They use emotion so your instincts get switched and skewed. They take your taxes and gun rights like this is cool. I make it drizzle like Mayweather and Mayweather. You may weather the storm, but the kid better. Y'all transparent like your kids switch genders, you see through. I see you and I ain't a scared fella, I'm a warrior. If words are weapons, nothing's gorier. The women wanna touch me from Echo Park to Astoria. These hipster women like craft beer and Netflix. She's innocent and she's friendly. Some girls are undercover sluts, they like see me be spoiled. It's trending around the map now like CBD oil. Y'all gotta wrap it up, I call it easy E foil. Y'all some obsolete pieces like a DVD coil. Y'all ain't fucking with the kid. R. Kelly's bodyguard, but he ain't the only one. What the fuck you think they lobby for? They say I work too much and I should hobby more. Skyscraper flow, you chillin', sitting on the lobby floor. They say anomaly, I don't like your rapping. I think to myself, you know what I don't like? The fact that I've accomplished more in a day of my life than you have in 3 decades, you ain't playing it right. Y'all should stop hating and pay me for consultation. I could probably change your life with a minute of observation. If you can't find your girl, just bet my cock adjacent. You a cuck, you can watch her, she swallow my dog like Nathan's. I'm a boss, I'm a real man. What the fuck did you think this was? People talk online, but they be softer than a Jigglypuff. Sipping on my tea and I don't even keep my pinky up. She said save it for me when we go and do that kinky stuff. Hold up, I'm making a song right now. I'm trying to be the best rapper in the world right now. That ain't really hard to do, cause the culture's so enslaved that we just 2 steps away from being sold right now. I said I'm sick with the rap, living the track. Y'all know that I be ridiculous at everything I do, I'm big on the map. Never gonna stop like a second attack, so get in the bag. Shut your mouth, don't get offended at that. We gonna bust down the enemy path. Rapping like my tongue got an energy pack with amenities, yeah. I switch it up, now it's sounding like it's slow-mo. My rap reaches the youth, my news connects with old folk. You and symbol flow, welcome to the snow globe. Is he joking or not? Don't worry, just know, bro. Y'all are faker than a moon rock from NASA. I ditch the pens and pencils to write my lyrics in plasma. They try to catch the breath, keeping up with me, then get asthma. This a battle when they trying to hurt the children like cattle. I'm just asking for some critical thought, for some real discussion, not a digital war. I'm a physical force, I'm a spiritual horse. Triple crown, I don't hit the ground and sync with the Lord. You couldn't flow like me. If a sync was your face, put more than 5 on it. Just give me Cinco and change. Justice League hit me up, this instrumental deranged. And I'm the best fucking rapper they won't let in the game. I've been nice since 19, but they wouldn't listen. They told me drugs and women, what I had to be spitting. But I just thought fuck you, then did my thing. Got 250 million views without a deal, a label or manager. I'm the truth, you a fool, a goof, misleading the fucking youth. You a tool for elites to kill all the kids in school. I make music for Einsteins and high vibes. You make music for Weinsteins and wise guys. Firework flow, the sight would leave your eyes wide. Treat my ex like NSYNC, can't wait, but bye-bye. Got stupid flow, she called me beautiful. Then show me nipples like Maroon 5 at the Super Bowl. I'm so done with this shit. The real ones gon' have to plug the kid in. If not, I got my own outlet. Yeah, my vote got wet. Got more reach than your whole fucking label, you fucking fable. All I do is electrify with fluent eclectic lines. Y'all knew that respect was fine. The dude who was next to shine, that's me. And yeah, I'm bright with the mic, and I'm breaking the matrix tonight. You're welcome.
What? What?
Yeah, so
How dare you waste that beat?
I said the one part, one of my favorite lines, I said you're like you're see-through, you're transparent, like your kid switched genders, you know, like transparent. I love that line. But if he would have just been like a little chiller, I probably would have put it on Spotify. Like if he would have just told me twice or something, but he kind of like, I'm not saying he threw a fit, but I feel like he was like, But I've been rapping since I was like, however old. So I got a Justice League beat, and I'm like, bro, I got to spit the craziest bars on this shit. Like this is, I've been dreaming of getting a beat like this.
Yo, that's
and
crazy.
I did, and
that's
he
an
just,
excellent beat, and you beat that thing like it stole from you, like, and you should put it on Spotify.
I don't know why he got so upset. Literally, he could have came to me like,
put it on Spotify.
no, but he could have came back a week later and been like, yo, just put it on Spotify. I would be like, for sure. But like I said, I was like, you sure about it? And he just kind of was like, he's not like, you know. I was like, all right, bro, like, you know.
You probably felt
it is what it is, but it
I
lives
would
on
say
YouTube.
It's a banger, so you should put it on Spotify.
It lives on. It's a little more degenerate than some lyrics I would say today. So
Yeah, but that's the journey. You know what I mean? Like
some of those lyrics, I was like, oh, damn.
No one's born Marcus Aurelius. You know what I mean? Marcus Aurelius wasn't born Marcus Aurelius. You know what I mean? He had to suck a titty like everybody else. Right?
Dude, I read that somewhere. I read that quote. That's an Akira the Don quote.
I just said it.
Yeah, Mark. I read that before. In the future, it was Akira the Don. Marcus Aurelius wasn't born Marcus Aurelius. He had to suck a titty to get there. I remember that.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for joining us on this fine evening. It's been lovely speaking with you, and I look forward to speaking with you again. There's lots more stuff there's a billion things I could talk to you about, frankly. But I think that's a positive way to end things, because otherwise we'll start talking about awful degeneracy and the horror show that's going to be 2024. I would say the shit show, not the horror show. Horror is what, you make of it. But there is a shit show coming up.
Dude,
you're going to be plugged in. I feel for you because it's your job. You're going to be plugged into this shit. I ain't going to be ignoring it for the most part.
Ignore it. Don't worry. The deep state has it covered, bro. They got both parties, bro. They're gonna win either way.
Yeah,
I'll give you a.
And that guy with the funny voice. Don't forget the guy with the funny voice who's married to Larry David's wife. What the fuck?
Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that?
It's like the Kennedy Shawing Batter Kennedy thing.
Oh, the what? RFK?
Yeah, Larry David's wife.
Is that her wife?
What?
You know more than me, bro.
Larry David's wife is Robert Kennedy's wife.
Oh, she divorced Larry David and went to RFK?
No, they were married on a TV show called Curb Your Enthusiasm. Maybe you saw
bro,
it. It was pretty funny.
No. Oh, okay. I'm like the last TV show I saw was Golden Girls.
Yo, Curb Your Enthusiasm's 20 years old now. Did you know that? That's crazy. Like,
Golden Girls, yeah.
In the first season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, there's an episode where Larry David orders a Girls Gone Wild via video. Or his manager does.
Dude, Girls Gone Wild. Do you remember those commercials, dude? At night?
That's how old that show is.
Dude, I remember like I'd be watching like Howard Stern at night, looking around, be like, yo, Howard, and then it would be like Girls Gone Wild. And I was like making sure the door is closed, and it was just like, woo. And I'm like, how do I get to that bus? Like, where is that bus? Like, how do I do that? I want that. That's where I want to be. How do I get to there?
So then you say, I know, I'll be a rapper. I'll be a rapper who then talks about the news. That's how I will get to that.
That's how I'm gonna get them boobies.
Bus where they'd go, what? Yeah.
Oh man, good times. Good
yes,
times.
Indeed. So yeah, what's your plan for staying sane in this year of hitherto unprecedented fuckery that's going to be popping off second by second?
I guess I'm like 4 years, and I'm not trying to brag, but I'm like 4 years ahead of most like news people. So like none of this surprises me. Like nothing shocks me anymore. I'm not like blown away. Like I don't believe any of these people. So just got to make jokes about it, laugh, enjoy yourself, do what you can, but not stress about it, because like, people are watching like the script. It's like either you look at the policy and what they're doing, or you listen to what they're saying and like the drama around it. And most people are following the drama. Like they think Trump's a villain who's going to go to prison, or they think Trump's a hero who's going to like save the world. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not very emotional about it.
Is that the Kennedy angle? Do you remember in the Q story, like the ending of it was that the Kennedy who died in the plane crash was actually not dead, and he's going to come back and take over the country.
Was that JFK Jr.? JFK Jr. Yeah, they said JFK Jr.
Robert
was
Kennedy's
alive.
father, wasn't it? Who was like...
Well, he died too, but they said JFK Jr. was still alive.
Yeah, one of them was still alive, and they were going to come back, and that would be the happy ending of the superhero story.
Wait, you don't believe that? What are you, a fascist?
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
I
was just testing you. Wait, you don't believe that JFK Jr. is running the country from a submarine? Oh, I didn't know you were one of them, Akira.
Yes, sir.
You like
Yeah.
that?
I'm
Yeah.
captured. I've been
Yeah.
captured. All the way over here in Mexico, they captured the shit out of
Yeah.
me.
Jordan Peterson captured you, and he made you not believe in JFK Jr. and the moon landing.
Who was telling me about that? Anyway, that's for another day. That's for another day. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Shout out to everyone locked in. Thank you all for checking out this thing across space and time. We didn't do the international high five at the beginning. That's very remiss of us. So we shall do it now. I don't need to know today where you are from. I can tell you're an international and cultured audience, and wherever you are listening from, across space or across time, at this juncture, it is very important that you high-five the screen on my count. You can do this too. How about that? And we may thus bind our energies across space and time and redistribute them in the manner of some kind of like intergalactic cosmic disco Bernie Sanders is. 3, 2, you're premature. 1, hi! Five. Bye, Joe. High flipping 5. And, yeah. Big up everybody. We'll be back manana. We're going to be doing a live scoring a Manly P Hall talk about something very useful. And that'll be at 8 CEET tomorrow. You'll want to make sure, if you're not already, you're following AN0MALY. Now, this isn't going to be as simple as it usually is because he has different names depending on where you want to find him. All right, so if you want to find him on X, it's Legendary Energy. Am I right? It is?
Yeah, Legendary.
If you want to find him on Instagram, it's Dream Rare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're on
Yes.
Facebook, where him and like 2 million of your grandparents hang out, what is it there?
AN0MALY. AN0MALY.
Okay, that's fine. And YouTube, the link will be in the description.
AN0MALY as well, yeah. And Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify,
Same
where
thing.
you can listen to that tune we just played. It's a banger because he's definitely going to upload it to Spotify. No, really, he really is.
Let's get one, bro. Let's get one.
Spotify.
No, I'm saying let's get a song.
Oh, what, you and me?
Yeah.
Didn't
ready.
we? Yeah, we've been talking about this for like 5 years or something. So yeah.
It's on you, bro. I eat beets. I'm like a grandma who eats literal beets, except for instead of those type of beets, I eat beets. So you throw me one, I'm like,
Feed me.
yeah.
Yeah, that Lil Wayne in 2005 energy. Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'll get you saying. Is there a specific kind of vibe that you're needing in your life right now?
Nah, dude, just honestly like something real, you know, and like that could mean whatever. Like if it's real, I'm gonna feel it and I'm gonna slide on it. You know,
Ooh-wee.
like a kid going down a ski slope, you know, in his little, what are those things called? A sled, like a sled. I want to something like a sled on.
Yo, yeah, that's all I did. And that's cool because anyway. We were just playing that Max B song the other day where he goes, so much coke in the crib, we need skis, which is one of my favorite lines.
Dude, is he out of jail or no?
No, but
Max
they still
B?
got him in jail. It's ridiculous.
He's still in jail?
Yeah, he's recorded a couple fire songs from jail. Remember when Shine was in jail and the songs were all like recorded down a phone and they were all crackly and they sounded terrible? Like now, the way the songs they record in jail now sound great because I guess they're just recording on them iPhones or whatever. So he got a couple tunes that are really good.
He might be out soon. I just saw an article that says Max B all smiles ahead of prison release. It's almost over.
They keep saying that, but they've been saying that for like 10 years.
What did he do?
Nothing. He didn't do nothing. He was a
Really?
good boy. He wasn't even there. He got set up by some chick. Some chick did something and said that he told her to do it, and the evidence is very, very shaky.
Oh,
with
it's like
regards to
on
that.
some Charles Manson thing where they just said that someone told them.
Some chick robbed a guy in a hotel and said it was his fault, and he told us to do it.
Oh, that's that. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying like that's his name is Charles too, and like
Charlie,
that's what happened.
Charlie
I mean,
Wingate. Yeah,
that was a
Charlie.
crazier thing, but like it wasn't even a death. It was just it was just a robbery
I don't know
that
if
someone
the-
else
I
did.
can't remember if the robbery resulted in a death. Maybe it
Oh,
did.
felony murder charges. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember at this point. It was a long time ago. But
I remember Free Max B though, just the Free Max B chance.
yeah, I had a whole song. I was like, "Free Max B, called him out of taxi. He should get a Nobel Prize if you ask me."
Damn,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I like
You're
Max-
holding it down.
I love Max.
I liked
B.
it.
I'd say honestly, of that era, of that time, like he was brilliant. He was brilliant on so many levels. He was like deeply entertaining and charming. He had this beautiful flow, this just real easy way about it. It was super melodic. Like people talk about the way like Drake came in and made rap melodic, but Max B before Drake was doing melodic rap in a way that was super cool. It was dope, right? It kind of had an almost Nate Dogg-esque kind of like melody about it, but in a kind of like G-funkish fashion. I don't know. There was something just really cool and sleaze about the way Charlie Wingate was getting down back then. And
He
they
used
took
to,
him away from us.
He used to collab with like French Montana, right?
Yeah,
And
no, those
people?
Coke Boys
Yeah.
mixtapes are some of my favorite records
Yeah.
to this day. They're on Spotify and they are all illegal samples, by the way.
Right. They probably cleared them, or
No,
maybe
they
they
didn't
don't
clear
care.
shit. They did not clear shit. It makes it amazes me because there's just one day all of his catalog just went up on Spotify, like 46 mixtapes or something. None of that shit is cleared. It's the same like terrible like 128, 96 kbs fucking MP3 bit rate that it was when it was on Dat Piff or whatever. That's the tragedy of that time period. Is so much great music just got lost in the abyss
Right.
when Dat Piff disappeared. And
Well,
like, that
also-
shit is not on Spotify or whatever. And that's how
That
people listen
and-
to everything now.
And also, like on YouTube and stuff, for a while it was like, use these beats, like, you know, you could use these beats, but you can't sell them. Put them on a mixtape for free. And then like overnight, it became like your videos will all be taken down if you used other people's music. Where like that wasn't the rule forever. It was like, use it, just don't sell it. And then it was like, not only can you not sell it, but you also can't even like use it. So like it got taken down, copyrighted, and like, you know, I think everyone like ran to the shadows because it's not like anyone was breaking rules. The rules changed, and then like everything previous. I heard this happened real quick, like to people that make like anime videos. The anime companies are real sensitive with stuff, and like they just went at a few like review channels and people like that were barely using it, and they just gave them like 1,000 strikes overnight and just took their channel away, like demonetize them. It's like, you know, like yeah, it's crazy.
I remember when it kicked off because I was in I had a group called Midnight Men, and we were like a DJ duo type thing, and we were doing a lot of remixes. And we had some really big remixes that were really massive on SoundCloud, like millions of streams. And then one day I woke up and our whole SoundCloud channel, and that was when SoundCloud was the big thing, had just been deleted because SoundCloud had handed over control to Universal, and Universal were just going around nuking accounts that had remixes of stuff that they owned on it. So like, you know, you spend years building up this thing, then you wake up and it's gone. It was like the music industry sort of switched up overnight, and suddenly you couldn't put remixes on YouTube, and suddenly this, that, and the other, because they wanted to funnel everybody into DSPs and milk all the revenue in that area. You know.
Right. And now they allow you to put it up. They just like funnel the money to the other people, which they should have always done. You know, like not take them down, just give the person the money. That's fine.
It depends on the track, because I do a lot of like DJ streams and shit, and like they'll usually get a couple songs will just result in a worldwide block. So then you have to remove the song after the fact. It's kind of comical, because if you have a video and one bit of music that gets claimed is in it, all of the revenue from the video will go to whoever claims it. But if you have a video like I do on Fridays, I do these DJ sets, play like 100 songs, and 100 songs get claimed. So somehow the revenue is getting divvied up between 100 people on that thing. I don't even know how that works.
That's funny.
Anyway, we're in a weird ass time, and we'll look back on this time as a weird ass time, like you always look back on times as weird ass times. You know what I mean? But
It's been a pleasure.
yeah, always. Congratulations, Felicidades. You made it. Growing stronger every day without compromising your bad motherfuckerness. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Anomaly.
Appreciate you. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate you. The Meaningstream was brought to you by meaningwave.com. Meaningwave.com. Why Anomaly? Why? Because happiness is a side effect of meaning. Head on over to meaningwave.com today, where you can look at blogs about Meaningwave stuff. You can also get fast, speed. Thank you, Burton Bradley. That was a blog we did today about Burton Bradley. He was a poet. Do you know Burton Bradley? No, he's a great American poet from 100 years ago. I've been turning his poems into songs. They're bangers. He's great. Anyway, we also got lyrics. We've got digital music bundles, which is a great way of downloading music for when they switch off the internet or whatever cyber attack they're doing this year. You will have your music. You will not be relying on Spotify. Do not rely on the Swedish for anything other than writing really good pop songs. That is my advice. Indeed.
That's a good one.
Thank you. It's true.
I know.
Also, you know, we've got lots of lovely clothes. You know what I mean? We've got so many lovely clothes, lovely clothing in collections and all that sort of thing. And you might want to check that stuff out. Where's that new collection? Look, we've got this new collection. It's got 90s party shirt. It's very dope. I designed that. And this lovely VHS design that me and my son made. Very lovely. We've got a Discipline Gets Things Done shirt, because Discipline gets things done, by Jove. And hats are back as well. You've got nice hats, don't you, Anomaly? Anomaly has hats that say God bless on them. I've been meaning to get one for ages. Last time I tried to get one, they were sold out.
Oh, they're there.
They're back now.
I got you.
All right, cool.
Let me know.
All right, I'm going to get that. I'm going to give me one of them God bless hats. I like the way that Anomaly monetized God bless and branded himself with God bless. That's good branding.
Hey.
It is. It's a good thing to have in a thing. I like the way that you infuse everything you do with an unabashed positivity.
Thank you. And vice versa. I think that's why we get along. And because I'm a good dancer, and every DJ needs somebody on the dance floor that's not afraid.
That's right. And this guy is not afraid, even if he is headbutting the chandelier half the time. Anyway, yeah, go meaningwave.com. There's also support links where you can support if you wish to do that. And of course you do, because your life is made better by the existence of Meaningwave. So you want to click the support link and you know, send us 17 bitcoins, and we will use them wisely. Don't you worry about that. And with that being said, thank you all for being here. Amanda Dances, good to see you. Shecky, Nick, Charlotte, hello darling wife. JT the Lionheart, Big Bad Wolf, Not Your Problem, Shecky. Where's Homeboy? Matthew Felty, appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Soul Killer, all of y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back. Look at that lovely yawn. Make sure you follow Anomaly wherever Anomaly be. And we will see you very soon. Love to you and your family. God bless. Nick Van Elvis says, blessed, don't change, bro. I have to. My cells are dividing and reconstructing themselves. I will be different tomorrow. I'll see you then. Boom. Stream ended. Delightful.